Tonight, we bring you this week's flight sim news and updates from SayIntentions, preview the Heinkel He 111, Aerosoft CRJ version 2, and preview the enhanced KLAX from iniBuilds. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. I almost mixed up. Right, confusion already. The middle of the week, the halftime show, the midweek shuffle. You're very welcome to the news. That's right, friends. Loads of news tonight. So, did you ever feel terribly unprepared for things? You see, right, I'll get straight into it. I got a gadget delivered in the mail today, right? And you might be saying, Jesus Murph, what's that? This is the new Ungarda Síochána speed catching device. No, it's not. This here, would you believe, is called, it turned on. This is a gimbal. What was your man's name in that movie? Richard Kimball. It's a gimbal, you see. And I've been having the crack with it. It's from DJI, and this arrived in the mail today, and I only got to play with it when I came home from work. And that's why I'm a little bit late and unprepared. Very fancy. But anyway, I learned how to break it. Hope you're all keeping well. It is the middle of the week. Some strange phenomena over Ireland at the moment. We've moved the clouds away. Whoosh, out up the yard. We've had beautiful, glorious sunshine and Jesus, it was about 15, 16 degrees. Lovely. But it won't last, so enjoy it while you can. You know, we got a new bell for the cat. Ah, brilliant. You can hear it a mile away. Come here, cat. She might come in and see what's going on. A new bell on the cat. Because she scared the bejesus out of Mr. Two-Tone the other day. She jumped up on the bed, no word of warning, and she let out a gasp. Oh, won't bother me. Oh dear, oh I, she said. You know, words to that effect. And she says, right, we're getting a new bell. I said, oh, brilliant. I also need to fix my doorbell. It's all happening. I'm not prepared, but anyway, listen, we'll wing it. Hope everyone is well. It's grand. Tonight we have news. Yes. So, we had an interesting experience using SayIntentions last Monday night. And, I got on to Brian and said, Jesus, you'll never guess what. And he gave me an update, told me what was happening. And now he says, well, he's fixed it. Bugs, you see. I said, James, that's handy and very, fair play. So we're going to be checking out some of the other bits and bobs on SayIntentions. Because when we look at a product, and it's a subscription-based product, you have to say, well, right, it has to work. And it has to fulfill the needs of people because they are subscribed to it. Otherwise, they just stop subscribing to it. And that's probably one advantage as a consumer, to say, well, if it's not doing the job, I'm just not paying for it. You do the same with your mobile, you do the same with your TV service. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have a look at the back end in terms of the support, the notifications, the updates, troubleshooting, the whole shebang. So we'll have a look at that. We shall also check out a new aircraft located here beside me. It's from Captain Sim, the Heinkel He. Jesus, this came out, well, it did. It came out of nowhere. So it only works in FlightSim 2020. Anyone who was, interested in it, it's only working in 2020. I have tested it in 2024 and it said, no, you can shag off. So we'll test it in 2020. We're also going to be checking out the brand new update for Aerosoft's CRJ. Version 2 released over the last couple of days, and we'll be checking that one out in FlightSim 2024, along with the Boris audio sound packs, friends. Yes, incredible sounds for that CRJ. It transforms it. So apart from being, it was always a great airplane when it behaved itself. Now we have an update with a load of bug fixes and a few new features thrown in there, but the sound packs are also working. So I was on to Boris earlier on. I was like, Boris, does this work? Yep. Brilliant, right? Then, friends, we have a preview build of an upcoming LAX, the KLAX, Los Angeles, iniBuilds airport. It's known as the Enhanced Edition. Now, I sent an email and I said, can I show that off? They haven't said no. They didn't say yes, but we'll wait and see, right? If I get, if you see like the cane, we'll know what the crack is, right? Yeeted off the stage. But anyway, it'll be relatively busy. Plus, we get to catch up with the announcements made over the weekend with regards to FlightSimExpo, who's going to be exhibiting there. And I'm really looking forward to FlightSimExpo, hence the new gimbal stuff. And yeah, lads, I can't wait. I really can't wait. So, right, now that we're all ready to rock, let's start somewhere that's somewhat familiar. Jesus. Right, who's here? Look, DeBlaze, you're very welcome aboard. Spitfire, RAF 100 is here in the chat. Happy Wednesday. Viper Strike is here. He flew over the French Riviera, no less. Beautiful. Vacuum, good to see you. Dougal McTavish, the chairman, has rambled in. Good day to you, Dougal. Led Ballooner, hope you're well. Mitsuki is here. Hello. Fierce Wolf, looking fierce. And Wolfie. Welcome aboard, man. Mr. 90, good day. Anthony V is here. Super Ty rambles aboard. Good to see you, man. Tilly Flyer is here. Idle Cutoff says, evening Murph. Cambridge calling. Hello from Tipperary. Hope you're well. Echo Charlie is here. Good evening. Muse fan bursts in the door with his eyebrow. He says, how he is his mad jokes. Happy Wednesday all. Did anyone go for a sausage roll? So we were chatting. Now, listen, if you missed yesterday's live stream, it was a stream of trucking precision. Simulated trucking. But anyway, we started talking about, the deli. And there's one for you. When you go to the deli, you go up to Bridie. You remember Bridie, you do. Anyway, go up to Bridie and ask, can I get a large roll, please? Yeah. Would you like butter, she'll say. Yes, please, a small bit. Pause for effect. Then you say 2 or maybe 3 sausage rolls, depending on the size of the sausage rolls, and put them into the roll. Hence, it becomes a sausage roll. Now, don't knock it till you try it. You might be thinking, well, I know what you're thinking, but still, try it, So that's what we were chatting about. And someone needs to have tried it, I hope someone tried it, because we need scientific evidence, right? But anyway, who else come in? Vespia, welcome aboard. Eamon 1973 is here. APU Inspector, good to see you, man. That's the wrong button. Twice he did it. Jesus. PH Roy, good evening. Hope all is well. The weekend is closing in, APU. Absolutely. Nightsep is here. Very good evening to you. Happy Wednesday. Hayden is here. Retriever Neil. Good to see you. The Belgian pilot. Very good evening, he says. Good to see you, man. Max Stallion. Happy Wednesday. Hope all is well. Creo is here. Anthony V. 3 streams in a row, man. Thank you very, very much indeed for all the support. Old Veteran 965. Scott reports in saying, happy hump day, folks. Stand by for the news. I am in the middle of tearing down my desk for a giveaway. As soon as the stream is done, I'm pulling apart all the computer stuff. Sigh. I shouldn't... right? Learning, acting. What a tangle of chords. Flight of the Chords. Scott, I feel your pain, but you'll be delighted when it's all done. Do you know what I mean? Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. AJH John, you're very welcome aboard. Mac Vision is here. Heisenberg. Yes, it's time once again. The know-it-all that knows it all, at least when it comes to the flight sim. Who's that then? Good to see you. It is good old music all the same, isn't it, huh? I do like this music. Scorpio 49 rambles aboard, stating the following whilst holding a bottle of a aged cognac. Yes. He says, "Good evening, Murph, and all in chat. Just wondering who stole all the clouds over Ireland the last few days. This isn't normal." Scorpio, there's an ambush coming. I'm telling you, it's going to be raining sideways. But listen, we'll enjoy it while it lasts. Helric is here. Good evening. Jimbo, welcome aboard. Who else come in there now? Bell Bro, hiya friendages, you're very welcome in. 98 Vulcan, greetings all from Gosford in Australia. Hello from Tipperary, hope you're well, man. I wonder if products from Microsoft will see any price increases. From your man, I couldn't tell you. I don't think so, at least not yet. Digital products? Do you know, pardon me. Steve says, hello. With you once again from a wet and windy Chicago. I was a bit disappointed with the poor performance of SayIntentions in the Monday VF4 session. Can you further discuss that in the SayIntentions portion of today's live stream? Is it a viable alternative to VATSIM in the upcoming Monday streams? We'll certainly have a look at it. When it comes to any AI or text-driven or automated air traffic control, you know, it's a great, how do we phrase this? It's a great substitute when you don't have real world ATC or VATSIM or, you know, IVAO or Pilot Edge, right? It's a great substitute, especially when you're flying into areas that just don't have coverage available. It's also better than not having anything at all if you are looking for some sort of an ATC experience, someone to talk to or get some sort of control. In saying that, it's not designed to replace those. It's a great complement to those, if that makes sense. However, there are certain things it should be able to handle relatively well. What we experienced on Monday, I put it down to a bug or an issue onto SayIntentions to say, hey, there's a problem. Read out everything that we experienced to say, listen, you know, it taxied us to a runway, it gave us clearance to a certain area, but then it changed its mind. We got a couple of things repeating itself. And to be fair, Brian straight away, I'll paraphrase in here, but it was basically, oh bother, I must have broke something. Bearing in mind, SayIntentions are right on it's not the knife edge, but they are so close to releasing a massive update to the entire product line. You know, they mentioned all this back at Flight Sim Weekend, so things are busy. The good news is they're able to say, yeah, let us look into it, tell us what happened, and then he came back to say, 99% certain that's already fixed, but let me double check anyway. And he said it's fixed. So we will try it again for sure. And again, it's one of the advantages consumers have being on a subscription service. It doesn't matter if you agree with it or disagree with it, that's your call. But from being a subscriber, if you bought the product outright, and we've seen this already when it comes to add-ons for Flight Sim, you buy the product full price and it might work fine, or it doesn't work and then there's no updates coming from that developer. We've already spent our money. We've already made that transaction. That's it. Game over. Ball burst in terms of where are we going to get our value now in terms of support or kind of, you know, updates or whatever. On a subscription model, it gives us a little bit more flexibility because, well, if it's not working, well, we stop paying the subscription. So you have these sort of options there. It's an interesting way to look at it. Whether or not you prefer it, that's your call. But I think, you know, who do we have subscription-based services from? We have Navigraph, we have SayIntentions, we have Pilot Edge. There's one or two others out there as well. So it gives consumers a little bit more power, I think. But then again, if it is subscription-based, well, depending on your use and how long you use that service, it can get pricey. So we're going to have a look at, as I said, kind of the back end of what SayIntentions have there in terms of the support, troubleshooting, information guides. It's all there in the Pilot portal. So we'll have a look at that in a bit. But yeah, it's Flight Sim, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't matter who or what the product is. It's and the user. It's something's liable to go a little bit astray. It can happen. But the important thing, especially for me, okay, if stuff doesn't work or breaks or there's an issue, there's a problem, we need fairly good communication, right? It doesn't need to be 100% like on time every time. Keep us in the loop. And if there's a fix, well, give us an idea if it can be fixed. And if it can't be fixed, tell us. Yeah, that's shagged. Do you know? So it's important having that level of communication. That's across all developers, all of them. Do you know? Because as a consumer, you're going to buy something and next thing, well, it should work, but it doesn't. Right. Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again? That's usually what we get, do you know? But anyway, we'll have a look now in a bit. Where are we at now? Look, Twisted Mexican, my dude, he says, hey, brother, I'm back from the grave. Jesus, what? Were you on holidays or something? It's great to see you, man. Gerald is here. Welcome aboard. Sunjammer, another day of chaos. Indeed, indeed. Filthy is here. Good to see you. 98 Vulcan says, have any simmers using 40 series NVIDIA cards rolled back their drivers to fix instability and CTDs? Well, here's one for you. I haven't upgraded or updated my graphics GPU, English Murph, my graphics drivers. They're still on December 6th. December 6th. That's before the NVIDIA app came out. I'm keeping my drivers there for the moment, and touch wood, they've been working flawlessly. Prior to that, I upgraded it and I was running the latest and I was having more problems you could shake a stick at. Right, it was disaster. Ended up with a new rig. So where I'm at the moment, my 4090 is tipping away on the December 06 or December 6th drivers, and they're working absolutely fine. I've had very few issues. Very, very few. So yeah, let's see what happens there. Gimbal, is that the new kitchen utensil? Yes, no. Right, nice. I bought one of the other brands of gimbal and it was shagged. Oh. See, I'm learning brilliant. Would hate to think the cost of the DJI one. Do you know, it wasn't actually that bad. So this will tell you, right? There's a box behind the on-air sign. Right, if you notice, the back... Well, anyway... There's a big box in there, and inside that box, friends, lives a DJI Ronin gimbal. I mean, I could nearly sit in this thing and be gimbaled around the place, right? But it's too shagging big, you can't bring it with you anywhere. Then I got the Osmo Pocket 3, which is brilliant because it's a built-in gimbal. But then I was saying, sure, I can't live stream from that. So I said, well, hang on, the phone. You see, the phone. So I had a look at this, and what's it called? A DJI something mobile 7P or something. It looks very impressive. I mean, it does work. So I'll let you know all about it over the coming weeks if it's any use. Do you know? They're about $150, give or take. But yeah, let's see what happens. Now, where are we? We're over here. Look, Hydrospace, good to see you. What is the news about LAX? Well, iniBuilds are working on the enhanced edition of LAX, which is going to bring it into 2024 standards. Tell Houston, I'm well aware of the goddamn gimbal. What a movie, Muse fan. Muse fan, of course, referring to Blazing Saddles, released back in the 1960s. No, it's not. Great movie as well, though. Apollo 13. Brilliant. Helric, welcome in. The Irish invented clouds. We did. Hell's Bells, says Shirley Dev. Indeed. A gimbal is a camera holder that self-stabilizes. Yeah, and you can control the divel as well, do you know? Heisenberg says, Happy Hump Day. Will henceforth be known as Hump Day? No, wait, I really don't think that one true. Wait, no, Hump Murph Day. No, it does not fulfill my needs yet, says Cyrus. Yep. Don't worry, man. I'm shouting at them. You need to do the thing for Cyrus. He'll be happy if you do these things. But yes, right. Is it true that the Irish invented gimbals? It is. Black Eyes Gabe. We have a Black Eyes Gabe in the chat. Gabe, happy hump day. Hope you're well. Oz Nomad, a very good morning to you. Kelly Price is here. Question Murph. Why are there no bush trips in Flight Sim 2024? They were my favourite in Flight Sim 2020. I do believe they're coming back, the bush trips, because they're going to be classed as activities. So my understanding is, yeah, they will come back. Plus, there are a number of bush trips that you can download on flightsim.to. Now, I don't think they work in the sim quite the same way, but they will bring them back for sure. Sync Rated, you're very welcome aboard. Good to see you. Who else come in the door here now? Broussard Gerard. Broussard Gerard. Welcome in, Gerard. Microsoft wasn't on the list for Expo. Should we be worried? No. I'll show you now in a second. It's not in any way official, regardless of me jumper. They gave this to me, because I'm sound, but there's a big, massive open space. I'm just saying, right? But anyway, Zybok Doc is here, calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. Good to see you, man. Paparazzi, he says, howdy all. I finally made it in, so happy to have completed a 13-hour flight, but I needed a manual PIREP. Paparazzi, you've been having issues. I've been watching your posts over on the gadget, and yeah, well, fingers crossed, that's all getting sorted. Do you know what I mean? You're having issues with the sim. Toto was here, good to see you. Hope all is well. Zit says Super Quinn sausage rolls were the goat. Super Quinn sausage rolls. I know the Super Quinn sausages were deadly. Do you know? Get out of that garden, Sir Campsalot. You're very welcome aboard. Happy Wednesday, man. Schutz is here. Hope you're well. Tarnish Mossman. Yeah. Oh, yes. Very sad news today. At the age of just 65, Val Kilmer has passed away, lads. This has been this year we've lost Gene Hackman and Val Kilmer. Now, Val Kilmer, very prominent in the aviation scene. Well, he was in Top Gun, you know, played the part of Iceman, Nick Kazansky, right? And he was brilliant in that movie. And then, you know, he was in the second movie, Maverick. And yeah, he sadly passed away today. And I think everyone's going to, you know, celebrate a life that he had, and we'll be watching Top Gun, you know. But yeah, sad day indeed. Goblin Zeus, good evening, how are you? Tilly Flyer says, my local football team has a catering van that sells rolls with a Scotch pie on it. Wait, what? Rolls of Scotch pie, Jesus. Stick Figure, good to see you. Catman Doza, how the devil are you? You're very welcome in, man. Happy Wednesday. There will be some photos of the event, there will. Death's Angel is here. Howdy Murph and Fireflies. Welcome aboard. Wraith Tempest, good to see you. Who else come in? Eric Floyd is here. Good to see you, Eric. Eric, am I right in saying you're going to be at the you're going to be at Expo? That's going to be brilliant. Looking forward to meeting you. Muse fan says, everyone knows Bridie. She holds a christening and a housewarming at the same time. So you know how it is when you're standing in the middle of the room with 2 crates of Guinness and a half a bottle of whiskey inside, and you're like, do you know, you're probably wondering, why do Murphy and Muse fan keep going on about all this? It's grand. It's grand. You need to watch it and you'll understand more. You know, we're speaking in code. Yeah. Just build a new Antonov 225. Who? AI ATC is to human ATC as simming is to real flight. Don't know, it's quite true. Well, no, I mean, SayIntentions is more than just ATC. And that's why it's very hard to compare it. I mean, you have Beyond ATC. And, you know, where they're at, they have the ATC stuff, they have traffic injection. With SayIntentions, they have the ATC, they have the traffic injection coming very, very soon, but they've also other things. They have SkyOps, they have the upcoming Skynet. Now, SkyOps injects objects and scenery into your sim as you do various different flights. I mean, you talk to it and say, hey, I want to do this. Sure. You can go off, do firefighting, you can do search and rescue missions, air ambulance missions. There's all that jazz. And then with their new Skynet, which is going to be available for free to everyone, meaning that, well, you're going to be able to use their own online network for multiplayer flying, which could be savage when you think about it. And if you're on flights in 2020, doesn't matter. You're going to see 2024 traffic and vice versa. So it's cool. JoinFS, I mean, I think they stopped working on that since, was it like 2016 or 2017? It stopped. A couple of other guys picked it up and you know, they made a thing of it. But you're now getting like a fresh product, which is like brand new development. Plus, they're going to be able to do aircraft sequencing being controlled by ATC for multiplayer. How on earth they're going to manage that? But they're going to do it. They said they're doing it. So if we have a group flight with 20 or 30 or 40 different people flying, and if we were all connected to SayIntentions, in theory, we'll all be spaced by that ATC, which would be an AI entity. It's quite staggering when you think about it. Plus, they have this living world business where all the other AI aircraft are their own individual entities. What? It hurts the brain. Like, the stuff they're doing, it's mad. It's very, very far out there. Like, it's very kind of, this is what's coming down the line. It's a great look into the future, I suppose. In 2 or 3 years' time, I'll say, Jesus, do you remember when they were only starting that? And then we'll have mad things. Like, you know, if the holographic virtual assistant standing beside you. But I'm telling you, lads, that's where it's going. But anyway, Englewood Online is here. Good to see you. Phantom Diablo, good evening. And Jesus now, happy birthday. Isn't it your birthday today? I think it is. Captain Gaiman is here. Welcome aboard, man. Chaz Babylon, hope all is well. It's way more expensive I can buy beyond ATC for less than 3 months of SayIntentions. Yeah. Now yeah, 100%. You can get the they're working on a beta of it, so you're getting the open sky thing, which is like a single payment and that's it, IF4 to IF4 kind of stuff. But yeah, 100% Cyrus. Now where are we at? We're over here. Look, SayIntentions price. Where's this button? Needs to half again for me to be looking at trying it. Yeah, that's fair enough. Like it came. Is it half of what it usually was when it first got released? I mean, they're bringing the price down, but it's the cost. They'll tell you that. Brian will tell you that. The cost of this AI generation, it's quite expensive because it's so new. Do you know what I mean? From a technology standpoint, look at the prices of hardware when they're so new. So yeah, fingers crossed, man. What is this now? I'm just not playing flight sims right now. Problems with drivers. Oh, no problems with drivers. Aha, right. CP says, my NVIDIA driver is up to date and I haven't had any problems with a 4070. Nice. Phantom says, just got my new flight goodies, Thrustmaster throttle and a digital writing pad. Oh, very fancy. And where's this now? Nice little gadget for under 20 quid. Nice, nice. Sounds more like a... Jesus, Peter. Right, we're over here. Still waiting for me 5090, but I'm now getting nearer the front of the pre-order queue. Ooh, nice, nice. Where are we at now? Gerard, yes, good to see you, man. Out here in the suburbs is out there in the suburbs. You're very welcome in. Eric Flight will be at FlightSimExpo, 30 minutes from your house. Ah, no way. That's super handy. Airwolf is here. Good to see you, man. Don't forget the Tonka update. Did the Tonka get an update? Good man, Tarnish. Remind me in about 11 seconds. We'll have a look. Goblin Zeus says, great actor was Val Kilmer. I remember also he was in the fabulous Jim Morrison of The Doors in a movie. Yeah, he was in so many movies. Do you know? Right, where are we at now? Version 1.07. Gotcha. Microsoft Flight Sim servers shagged again? Question mark. I don't know. I didn't see any issues. It all sounds wild. It really does. It really does. I thought Open Sky was going to be free. Open Sky... yeah, it is. What did I say? Skynet. No, you have Skynet and then Open Sky. Maybe Open Sky is the free one. We'll have a look. We'll have a look. Like I said, I didn't prepare anything. It's all grand. I was playing with my new gimbal. Ah, gimbal. Gimbals, of course, the name invented by the... And I didn't know this. Do you ever... You know when you get something new, right? Look. Oh, better not... Hang on. Ah. Do you know when you get something new and it says, hang on now, what does this do? And then... Oh, I'm after breaking it. But you didn't. It's actually supposed to do that. That's the way I am with stuff. And then sometimes I do break things. But anyway, not important. Mr. Dan is here. What a day Mr. Dan has had. God almighty. He was out playing Wreckfest for real today. You poor old devil. Hope you're well, Dan. Breaking something, I cannot believe it. Right, do you know? But anyway, Leonardo da Vinci. Good to see you, man. Cheers from Atlantic City. You're very welcome in. From Tipperary, good to see you. Mrs. TPHI. Hello, hello. Dave Cleary. Legend Dave. Welcome in, Dave. Uniform Goose is here. Timmy Dodd, hello from Guernsey again. Hello from Tipperary. Byron is in the house. He says, evening y'all from Bucharest. Hello from Tipperary. Hope you're well. Daniel Meyer is here. Visualize, good to see you. Alan Black, welcome aboard. Northland Air is here. Byron says, Captain Sim haven't had the greatest of reputations from the way back. Has this Heinkel changed that opinion? I guess we shall see. Indeed, we shall see. Anthony Crotty is here. Welcome aboard. Jim Messenger. I had this weird dream last night. I was cast adrift in an ocean of orange soda. I think it was a fantasy. Brilliant. Fantana. Brilliant. Mr. TPHI is in the chat. Welcome aboard. 5 minutes to myself. Welcome in. Who else come in the door here now? Brian Jasper. Good to see you. Who's this now? Devil Dodge. Good to see you, man. I love SkyOps. Yeah, it's awesome. Reaper is here. Kato, very good evening to you. Right, lads. Has Gibbo and Muse invented round... Oh, wait. Has Gibbo and Muse invited round Murph Manor to play with Murph's gimbal? Not yet, but they will, I'm sure. Come on in, lads, and play with me. Wait, what? That sound is terrible. Jesus. Debo Fly is here. Flipper Alloy, welcome aboard. Now, quick, we'll move on because, you know, things are getting kind of all strange. Where's this button? Look. Oh, Jesus, where is the button? Here it is. Press it again. There. Right, friends. Now, I didn't get the Captain Sim C130, but I'm told it's pretty good. So I'm hopeful for the Heinkel 111. Well, here's the thing, right? When it comes to Captain Sim, their last aircraft, I think the Spad, I was really impressed with that. They did a great job. The C-130, especially their third one, The first one without an interior, that was just like they were taking the Dennis Hickey there. Like, what were you thinking? The second one that came out was actually quite good. The third one that came out was very good. Very, very good. So what we're looking at here, of course, is that of the Heinkel, the HE111. Now, Captain Sim are calling this the H variant. I didn't really find much information about it, but a very interesting machine nonetheless. These things were built in the 30s. They started off life as a commercial airliner, being a very fast airliner, capacity for about 10 passengers. The front would have looked wildly different. None of that plexiglass would have been there. Of course, the weaponry, that wouldn't have been there. And their earliest variants, they were actually using BMW 6 engines. So they were Beamer engines. And wait till you hear this, BMW drivers. When they changed the engine from the Beamer over to the Daimler, who owned Mercedes, it became much better. And then later on in life, it came to the Junkers engines, right? But anyway, we're going to be checking out this aircraft in a little bit in Flight Sim 2020. I'm on the ground here at Kerry, and let's just take it out for a spin, show you some of the features, and well, let's see what it does. I mean, there was no kind of release window for this. It was pretty much, oh, hey, it's out. Oh, Jesus, what's this? You know, interesting machine, though. Light Bison is here. Welcome aboard, man. One Fly Air, happy Wednesday. Can't wait to see Trent Palmer's new Legend plane. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I think they've 4 C-130s. Have they 4? Jesus. Gar Gaiman, welcome in. Lost Trucker is here. Greetings from Newfoundland in Canada. The most Irish place outside of Ireland. Even the same accent. You're very welcome in. Hemel, good day to you. Bravo Mike is here. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're all keeping terribly, terribly well. And now, friends, we shall pause the simulation as we go to the news. Holy tabs, right. Now, we start off with the news, and a massive shout out to Vasco over at MSFSaddons.com, to Callum and the lads at FS Elite. Great stuff for pulling in all the news. So we're going to start off this evening with news here from Miltech. Miltech's MH-60, they've updated their development blog, and it's talking about the avionics, the autopilot, and how naval helicopters get around without using SIDS and stars. This is kind of a look to say, or it's kind of a look into what direction they want to go with this helicopter, because they're delving deep when it comes to the systems. And usually with the choppers, we don't really see that, you know, especially on a military aircraft. But anyway, they're back with a second dev blog for the upcoming MH-60 helicopter for Flight Sim. And while we're still a few weeks away from release, the update offers a detailed look into the aircraft systems, avionics, the navigation, and its autopilot. So what are they actually working on? Now firmly in the early beta, and there's still no official release date yet, they're giving us a clear picture of what to expect. They're building the MH-60's cockpit using the Block 1 MH-60S US Navy manual. So actually using the aircraft manual for this. So that's interesting. The systems are being applied across all 3 planned variants, the Sierra, Romeo, and Jayhawk. It's using a common digital cockpit, even though the Jayhawk, known in the US Coast Guard service as the MH-60T, actually uses a completely different avionics suite in real life. All right. Some beautiful pictures here of what's going on, right? They have omitted the Coast Guard's common avionics architecture system in favor of consistency and feasibility. So all variants are going to have the same base layout. 2 flight displays, 2 mission displays, and 2 key sets. The flight displays provide information like the engine information, artificial horizon, HSI, and the hover parameters. Inputs like barometric pressure and heading are also set directly on the screen using the bezel buttons and a universal control knob. The mission displays are focused on missions, such as routing, maps, FLIR imagery, system diagnostics, and the aircraft warnings. Miltech admit this part is tricky since much of the real-world MD functionality is classified, but their approach is to get it as close to the real thing and as believable, especially for the FLIR system when it faces some technical limitations. So they're going to do more than just a simple synthetic option. They're going to try and make the thing work. The key set acts as the critical input hub. From it, simmers can control the radios, weapons, nav, attack, and also the loadouts, things like Hellfires, torpedoes, search and rescue equipment, and even the external tanks. It's a layered, functional cockpit designed to be immersive without being locked behind inaccessible real-world tech. Okay, well, they're thinking of the simmer here. If you're used to flying SIDS and stars, this chopper might feel a little bit different. Naval helicopters like the MH-60 don't typically operate under standard IFR routing. Instead, well, they coordinate using base navigation in the norm, which usually helps from grounds, other ships in the area, and mission planning systems. To replicate that, Miltech, they're bringing back the INS Planner. It's a web-based tool created for the Mirage, now reworked for the MH-60. It lets you build and sync a flight plan with the aircraft over the network, effectively simulating a mission cartridge being loaded into the aircraft systems. Anyone watch any of those kind of military documentaries, right? Well, the mission cartridge used to be in a very fancy briefcase, and your man would be handcuffed to the briefcase. Yeah, because it was literally a cartridge that was loaded into the avionics. And I think, was it the F-117s had it? That sort of crack, but that's what they're going for, right? Anyway, here's how the full nav suite stacks up. So your INS Planner, which is web-based to coordinate entry and syncing, tablet integration with FlightSim24's EFB, manual entry of the FTP waypoints, programmable search patterns like expanding squares or parallel sweeps. That's for search and rescue. Hey, Practically Geek is here. Good to see you. Support for VOR, ILS, TACAN and ADF, and SimBrief integration is on the roadmap. It just won't be expected at launch. They're even trying to make the INS Planner UI resemble the dated mission software used in the real world, which is reportedly still using Windows 2000. What? Another core area Miltech is putting a lot of attention is into the AFCS, the Automatic Flight Control System. The Stability Augmentation System, which is SAS. Unlike previous helicopters that relied on input-based autopilot logic, Miltech's new approach bypasses control conflicts, and it avoids drift over time by using internal trim and acceleration models. Gibbo Ireland! Good to see you, Gibbo. How are you, man? The result? Well, it's going to give us an autopilot system that should feel smooth and dynamic, especially in hover transitions, precision search and rescue movements, and climb outs. I'm really excited for this thing. So the modes modelled will have autopilot, radio alt and baro alt, approach hover, crew hover, and then a depart. So an automatic departure, right? Miltech notes it doesn't have LNAV, so it won't follow a route automatically. Flight plans are still crew managed. The SAS is also fully modelled, and disabling it will dramatically increase the pilot workload. Force trim hover won't be available at launch, although Miltech points to a good freeware solution already there that will simulate this behaviour. Right. Most of the focus of the blog is on the systems, but there's also a small update in regards to the mission system, which is one of the most ambitious features. A Vertrep mission and the mini scenery location is shown as a teaser, giving us a glimpse of the type of activities simmers can expect. And this kind of shows you the direction FlightSim from a third-party development can kind of go there. It means that they can create these modular missions, right? And they can kind of add things to the scenery in real time. Anyway, it's already being evaluated by another well-known developer that could suggest broader integration across third-party aircraft. The team is now officially in early beta, but they have set expectations clearly. There's no public release date until they're fully confident it's ready. In other words, expect a quiet rollout within just a few days' notice. A same-day release on PC and Xbox remains the goal, but Miltech are warning that the timing on Xbox depends on Microsoft's approval process. Dev Blog 3 is going to cover more of the mission system, and we'll wait and see what happens then. But yeah, it's shaping up, at least on paper, to be something absolutely incredible. Bearing in mind, like, Miltech started off, they kind of just burst onto the street. Like, we got the Osprey, we got the Chinook, we got the beautiful Mirage 2000, and you know, we have the C-17, of course, in the sim, and now we have this. So it's getting exciting now to see what they can do next. Now, to the tube liners, Fenix, they lifted the curtain on the 2025 roadmap. We covered this briefly the other day in the stream because it was big news, but we just wanted to talk about it a little bit here because, well, they're working on stuff. They've revealed a sweeping update to the state of its Airbus product lineup for Microsoft Flight Sim, outlining a packed roadmap for this year, 2025, which includes development of a standalone A320neo family, a major update to the current CEO product, and the long-awaited compatibility update for Flight Sim 2024. They're going to be flat out. The Neo, a new aircraft rebuilt from the ground up, so they're working on the 320 and the 321. Contrary to earlier public statements, the team have now committed to delivering the NEO, the next, was it the next edition option or next, what is NEO? Next something option, isn't it? Next gen engine option. Anyway, it's a standalone product, right? Words are difficult. Fenix say it's only green lit the project after confirming it would replace the existing ECAM system with a fully bespoke version. New engine model, or new engine option. Thank you, Mr. 90. Developed in-house and independent from ProSim. Ooh. The new ECAM enables features and behaviors not previously possible in the CEO version. To achieve this, the developers say they rebuilt the aircraft from the inside out. Every sensor, switch, valve, generator, and system was rewired and remodeled to reflect a modern A320 NEO configuration. Jesus. This includes updated electrical systems, pressurization logic, bleed air behavior, along with detailed focus touches like the higher capacity Nice batteries and adjusted mean time between failures data. According to Fenix, this is not a retrofitted CEO, it is a distinct aircraft modelled to current real-world standards. Fenix say, look, reading this, they're flexing to say, hey, we're going down this road, right? This looks beautiful. Included in the Neo family will be the CFM LEAP 1A and also the Pratt & Whitney JM engine variants, represented with full fidelity through the Fenix XEM modelling system. Pricing not yet been announced for this. A gift to the CEO owners, rebuilt systems and a modernised variant. So existing owners of the A320 are also getting a substantial update. Fenix says it has rebuilt the CEO using the same system overhaul process, though with fewer removals and changes. The rework is expected to bring about better performance, accuracy, and also long-term maintainability. The update will be free to existing customers and will roll out after the Neo is released. In addition, those who own both the CEO and Neo will receive a third aircraft variant, a modernised A320 that combines the newer ECAM displays and other systems into the CEO airframe. This configuration, popular with some operators, will give simmers even more choice on how they want to fly this aircraft. Mutley, very good evening. Now, the big Fenix update, what's coming? Before the Neo takes the spotlight, a significant update to the current 320 product is on the way. The Big Fenix Update, or BFU. It's slated to arrive in the coming weeks and will include a wide array of changes. The A319 is going to be getting sharklets.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Thank you, Mutley. I nearly bit me tongue. Come here. The 319, do we all agree it's just one of the nicest little jets to fly, isn't it? There's something about the 319. It's like the baby bus. Now, the A318 is smaller again. But that 319, it's really nice to fly that. They're also getting a reworked weather radar. What? Supporting a functioning weather radar on the ND display. This involved a complete overhaul of the system, which Fenix notes was a painful but necessary engineering effort. Right? Weather radars, brilliant. Landing dynamics reworks, ground effect and flare behavior have also been rebuilt on the DFDR, Digital Flight Data Recorder. LiDAR charts will now appear and integrate with your EFB. Nice. If you're going with the LiDAR charts, which are free, by the way, in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. EFB improvements. The update also brings back-end improvements such as PDF support in the briefing viewer and a refreshed V-speed calculation system. 2024 compatibility marks the first official compatibility, the Big Fenix update, for Flight Sim 2024. It includes the use of the new modular sim object system and a rebuilt library of some 700 liveries. Walk-around mode and enhancements, external interactive panels like the refueling panel and cargo door selector are now functional in Flight Sim 2024. These are physically modelled and require correct aircraft conditions for use. For example, refueling may fail if the aircraft is not level, and chocks must be placed correctly to avoid embarrassing results. It's getting kind of frightening, isn't it? Yeah, it's getting frightening, lads. The IAE V2500 sound set has also been rebuilt, with a new 3D flight deck sounds have been implemented, and the touchdown system now accounts for each wheel independently to generate dynamic touchdown effects. If I didn't know any better, that's probably one of the first times I've seen that in Flight Sim. independent wheel touchdown sounds. What? Right? Interesting. So yeah, Fenix are looking to be absolutely out the door, which is very exciting to see. And I think Fenix released an aircraft, that A320. It was one of those, defying moments within a flight sim. And no one knew how good this thing was going to be. We all know how good Fenix is. And yeah, it's exciting to see all these updates coming out. So great news there. Now, one extreme to the next. Captain Sim brings the classic World War II bomber, the Heinkel He, to Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're checking out this aircraft tonight. It's available only on Flight Sim 2020. Some folks are saying, yeah, it should work in 2024. It doesn't. It loads, but you can't interact with half the stuff. So we have to wait for an update. It's a highly detailed digital replica of the Heinkel He. And, well, I have to say, it's reading up on this. I was like, what, really? The aircraft, originally designed in the 30s under the constraints of the Treaty of Versailles, it was publicly introduced as a civilian airliner for Lufthansa. In reality, it was always intended to serve as a medium bomber for the emerging Luftwaffe. Over 6,500 units were produced, and the aircraft would go on to serve in several conflicts across Europe and beyond, most notably in France and, of course, during the Battle of Britain. Anyway, as with other Captain Sim releases, the He-111 prioritizes visuals. All right. The exterior model features high-resolution 8K textures and a single livery representing the Luftwaffe's G1EH variant, though a separate pack with 5 additional liveries is available for $4.99. It also includes a series of toggleable immersion elements. Gesundheit, pardon me, I had to sneeze. Including things like wheel chocks, tie downs, all that sort of stuff. Inside the cockpit, users will find a faithfully modelled layout using 8K textures and custom view system, and the immersion control clipboard included. Although the exact scope of this tool hasn't been detailed, the developer claims support for most Microsoft Flight Sim features, including that of rain and icing, and compatibility with SimOps for virtual airline and mission ops. Let's see what happens, right? I love the way you pronounced Lufthansa. It's wrong, but I love it. Well, you could say Lufthansa, but I go or Lufthansa. But yeah, Lufthansa. Lufthansa. Anyway, we're going to be checking out this aircraft tonight, as I said. The aircraft includes a basic autopilot, alt, hold and heading, and a model fuel transfer system, adjustable cockpit lighting, and the aircraft is a fitting model. A fitting model. As always, potential buyers should review the feature list carefully, and if you're on the fence, well, stay tuned. We're going to be checking this one out shortly. Now, news from FlightFX. They have updated the awesome P180. I love this plane. It's after receiving an update. FlightFX have updated the P180 Avanti for Flight Sim 2020. It's now sitting on version 1.21. The update is live in the marketplace. A number of general improvements along with some new additions to the aircraft. Improvements include the ability to hide the co-pilot yoke in the instrument view. The nose wheel steering keybind is functional, and the anti-ice system page UI has been improved. As for new additions, the comm panel is now fully functional, and the emergency landing gear deploy handle is now operational. An official version of the P180 is coming later to Flight Sim 2024, but we don't have any details just yet. Petrolhead, good to see you. So the changelog is there. It's fairly decent, and FlightFX are keeping that aircraft up to date. Any of you guys have this? You fly it, the P180? It's a beautiful plane. Most unusual, but it's really nice. It's gorgeous, Sim Mr. Egan loves it. There you go. Like, I don't know, is it your go-to aircraft? Cyrus T, it's your current number one aircraft. Nice, man. That's nice. It's so good. They've done a great job at that. And I remember having Nick and the lads on for a chat about this some months ago now at this stage. And just to get that insight, how much work they went to get this thing to where it is, it's awesome. But yeah, I have it on a fly's night. Yeah, Mickey Ozzy, 100%. Bought it through 2024 marketplace. Disappointed things are broken, and their solution is to fly it in 2020, says Schutz. You bought it through the 2024 marketplace, did you? P180 is a cracker. Aren't FlightFX the guys behind the Vision Jet? They are. Yes, they surely are. Okay, but it's a 2020 aircraft. So if things are broken, what's broken actually? Things are broken and the solution is to fly in 2020. Not heard a bad word about it, even by real world pilots, says Dougal. Yeah, I'm trying to think there. Schultz, what issues were you having with it, man? Because I mean, I've flown it on 2024 a fair bit. I haven't had any major issues with it. So if you're stuck, let us know on Discord. Maybe there's workarounds. I don't know. But yeah, don't want to see anyone kind of stuck with it. So yeah, let us know. But anyway, there's an update available for you now, lads. Do be sure to grab it. Now, huge news. FlyingIron finally updated the Spitfire for Flight Sim 2024. It's a compatibility, but the aircraft itself received an update, a couple of changes, a couple of fixes, and well, the LF Mark 9C, more or less used to FlyingIron simulations. The changelog is indeed significant, with many new or enhanced features, and this update adding 2024 compatibility. The developers made changes to the flight model, a new airfoil lift coefficient profile, as well as a new suspension system. The aircraft also contains new code for vibrations, making it respond more to user inputs and engine settings. The propeller and ground physics have also received a lot of changes. The full changelog can be found at the end of the article. The update, going by version 1.42, is available through your account from the FlyingIron website. If you don't yet own the Spitfire and you are keen to add the famous warbird to your hangar, it's priced in and around $35 Australian. If you don't have the Spitfire from FlyingIron, you need to have a serious look at yourself in the mirror. It is an experience. It's an experience in the sim. It's a beautiful aircraft. Stunning. And it comes with 2 different variants. There's so many liveries now available online. It's just a great aircraft. Now, the sound updates, they fixed 2024 sound compatibility, fixed the infinitely looping sounds, increased the engine volume, reduced the valve and knob sounds, reduced weird reverb sounds. Fair enough. The flight model got a whole lot of stuff done. The vibration got a whole lot of stuff done. And then you have your ground physics and so on and so on. Now, I've noticed one bug since this update came out. You can't move the wobble pump. I don't know, is that a problem? But yeah, I don't know what the story is there. Expect another patch or an update. If you go to the FlyingIron Discord, that's where they tend to pop out updates sooner than their website. You know, you can jump on betas and all this, because they come fairly thick and fast because, well, they're a developer who listens to the community. So when they know there's an issue, they try and get on it fairly quick. I've already read some folks are having some, you know, they're able to do some workarounds just by going onto their Discord, you know? So just do an L search there for FlyingIron Discord, have a look around, and if anyone's stuck, I mean, this is an aircraft I fly extensively, let me know. Maybe there's something I know that can help you out if something isn't working. Certainly what I've found is I can't get the wobble pump to move. Nightstep says it's stuck on the flight loading screen. So is that after you hit go fly and the map is trying to zoom in and do its thing, Nightstep? I wonder. Can you get the wobble pump to wobble? No, you can't. Totally shagged. Are those Spitfire updates also coming to the marketplace? They should be, yes. Other than takeoff, absolutely beautiful. It's always a challenge on takeoff. So Nightstep, interesting. Tell me, what was the issue with that now, with the map? It's, I wonder, is there livery? Are you using any other liveries? Maybe not. Or are they all just the default liveries? I've heard of that. Drake is here saying zoom out far before you click fly. Some people are saying, yeah, that can be a workaround. But if it's freezing and it's just locked to the loading screen, I'll have a look in the Discord Nightstep and I'll see what they say about that. Standard livery is okay. I'll check out their Discord. Let's see if we can find if there's a fix for that or if other people are having the same issue. And we'll see where we go from that. What else can we do here? Close that one now. We'll have a gawk, right? Now, Flight Control Replay updated to include custom A350 support. Developer Fabio Merlo updated Flight Control Replay version 5 to include new custom support for the iniBuilds A350. The new update will ensure that when you watch back your replays of the aircraft, you'll see all the animations accurately matched to your pilot inputs. This includes the aileron, spoilers, flaps, gear, and reverse thrust. So once you know you're done flying, you can then replay that segment and capture the most moment ready for any videos you then want. Fair enough. Flight Control Replay version 5 includes the ability to auto camera change, includes cinematic replay, create videos directly within the tool, and it also fully supports VR. Now, Flight Control Replay is part of Flight Sim 2024. It's default cooked in there. That's your replay system, right? However, if you're using this on Flight Sim 2020 or use it as a standalone, it should be it should be up and running now as it is. I'm not aware any of these updates are coming in the 2024 variant. I haven't seen any of that. But we know it's updated, so I imagine it will be. Ross, I imagine it will be. Now, released this week, FS Academy's Interceptor for Microsoft Flight Sim, a comprehensive and structured IFR training experience. We've looked at many of these before from FS Academy. They're now out with a brand new product, and their Interceptor, basically what it's looking at, it's IFR rules and situations, and it's a purpose-built 30-mission curriculum into the activities and training section for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. It covers a wide range of IFR skills, from basic scan patterns to approach procedures, structured in a logical and progressive sequence. Everything's tailored here. The guy behind this is a real-world pilot. He's an airline captain, I believe. And yeah, I mean, they've done stuff for VFR, IFR, then we had the Jetliner series with quite a lot from them. And this one is, well, it's quite good in terms of what it's now teaching it, because it's making you having to react to a scenario to learn from it rather than just go out and fly. So rather than offering a collection of isolated scenarios, Interceptor delivers a structured training path that mirrors real-world IFR progression. The course begins with foundational topics such as attitude flying on instruments and rate 1 turns, then gradually introducing some more complex navigation and procedural content, including VOR and NDB navigational techniques, the use of your instruments such as your OBS, RBI and your compass, partial panel procedures following simulated instrument failures, nice, GNSS-based waypoint navigation, holding patterns using all 3 entry waypoints or methods. You have some non-precision and precision approaches, VOR, NDB, ILS, missed approach, en route navigation, and also some multi-segment IFR route planning. There's quite a bit going on there. So these are very good. It's you know, you have kind of like your virtual instructor beside you. They're telling you what's going on and you fly it and then they talk to you. I've always found, though, it can be a little bit slow on identifying if you've deviated off course, you've done something wrong. But using this as a learning aid or a training tool, it's very, very good. It's now available. You can pick it up over on their website. And have we a price on the gadget? Let's see if we have a price. Interceptor, yes, very good, very good. Where can we buy it? There's quite a lot. And they also do a really good ground school document as well, lads. Do you know, it's actually quite good. Where did we buy it? Find us in Activities Training Centre. Out now in the in-game marketplace. There you go. So it's from the in-game marketplace. That's where you grab it, lads, yeah? So if someone's in the marketplace, sure, give us now a look. We'll see what the crack is. I don't know what the price is. They're usually priced somewhere between $50 and $30. $15 and $30, usually. So great news from FS Academy. Now, iniBuilds, they've opened up about the A350, talking about realism, the growing pains, and also what's coming next. iniBuilds launched their highly anticipated A350 back in late February. It was clear that no matter how stable or polished the initial release might be, there was always going to be room for improvement. The team didn't leave that to chance. They've been hard at work at delivering weekly updates that continue to refine and enhance the experience for many simmers now taking on the challenge of flying the A350. Now, a month after release, iniBuilds have offered a transparent and technically rich look into what's gone right, what's gone wrong, and what's still ahead for their Airbus A350. It's 3309. Thank you, Creo. 3309 for the FS Academy product. The team's first post-release development stream, it's long, it's detailed and refreshingly open about the challenges and progress surrounding one of Flight Sim's most complex airliners to date. A strong start followed by the usual turbulence. The A350 launched on February 26th, relatively smooth rollout in terms of download and installation. Something that isn't always guaranteed. But while initial impressions were largely positive, it didn't take long for users to start reporting bugs, crashes and performance, particularly when it came to Flight Sim 2020. The team was quick to respond. A day one patch came just days after release, and since then, weekly updates have addressed both bugs and new features. iniBuilds shared that they are now running 2 to 3 internal QA builds each week in addition to public releases. One of the earlier technical hurdles was a series of WASM-related crashes, freeze, partial freeze, and then, you know, CTDs. Mitsuki, yeah, a day one patch, days after release. Right, Frank Drebin wrote the script here. But anyway, The CTDs, they reported a 50% reduction of them since February, right? Autopilot disconnects, AFK mode, and then the flight model debate. They've also acknowledged widespread complaints about autopilot disconnects in mid-flight, especially in turbulent or changing weather conditions. It's been partially blamed on the complexity of the A350 CFD flight model, which reacts more dynamically to wind shifts than other aircraft. An AFK mode tweak was introduced to extend the parameters before the autopilot disconnects, but developers admit it's still a work in progress. A chunk of the stream focused on the controversial handling characteristics, with some users saying the aircraft feels too twitchy or it lacks inertia. iniBuilds brought in two voices to address this: Pablo, an active A350 pilot, and also Captain Chris, a Virgin Atlantic A350 captain who consulted on the project. Both pilots made it clear the A350 is a nimble aircraft in real life, especially when compared to the A330 or the A320. The tendency of simmers to over-control, especially coming from heavier and more sluggish Airbus aircraft, is reportedly a major factor behind the negative feedback. It's just the way the A350 flies, Pablo said, highlighting the need for gentle, precise inputs. Okay. Sound design was another contentious topic. iniBuilds said that the slat motor sound is the only one that should be audible from the cockpit during flap deployment, countering user expectations shaped by the cabin-based YouTube videos. ECAMs, the team clarified another common misconception: all ECAM logic is built for the A350 specifically. Early builds did contain a few legacy items for the A320, but iniBuilds insists they were removed quickly. Performance improvements and community mod debate was spoken about. Feature highlights and what's next. So, despite ongoing fixes, iniBuilds have been steadily adding new features, including a custom autosave feature, saves all system states of the aircraft position in the background, which is very useful if a CTD happens. ETP calculation for remote transoceanic ops, showing midpoint estimates. Mora integration, showing off-route altitudes directly on the ND using data from Navigraph. And then GSX integration has been improved. They won't leave the refueling cap open. Mother of Jesus. The roadmap also updates features like the constant descent approach logic, printer integration, enhanced decams, and also a fully modelled HUD system already in the artwork phase. So there's stuff happening here, lads. So you can see from March what's coming: April, May, and June. Jesus. And June, they're looking at the ultra long range, the ULR variant of the aircraft. So it's looking fun, lads. There's going to be a lot of stuff here. Xbox users, meanwhile, have been understandably frustrated with the delay. The team attributed this to the platform-specific memory limitations and said that they're working closely with Microsoft to get versions 1.05 and 1.06 certified and published, hopefully within the next few weeks. So, huge news, right? Huge news. Now, in terms of hardware, there's a new Airbus steering console from UFK bringing realistic ground handling into Microsoft Flight Simulator. Ooh, it's a tiller. A new name for a World of Flight Sim hardware has launched pre-orders for the Airbus steering console, a full-size replica of the A320 steering tiller, designed for serious simmers looking to take their setup one step closer to a true flight deck environment. At first glance, this $299.95 console might look like a niche luxury, but there's a clear market here. A growing number of flight simmers are building increasingly sophisticated home cockpits around high-fidelity aircraft. And while yokes and side sticks have long had solid representation, steering tillers, particularly functional plug-and-play ones, have been more elusive. So, what's the deal with the A320 tiller from UFK? Well, it features a die-cast aluminium steering tiller mounted on an all-metal gimbal mechanism, offering 12-bit Z-axis resolution for precise ground control. It gives users fine, responsive control during ground handling, and the unit connects via USB, and it is advertised as plug-and-play, so we don't need any L drivers or software. 757 has something like that. Ooh. Now, you don't get the box now. It's just the, right now. What do you actually get? UFK have also gone to some lengths to replicate the physical layout and utility of a real-world A320 pedestal. There's a working pedal disc button, disconnect, amber backlighting, an independently controlled floor light, even an aluminium trash tray with a lid. Why not? A vent grill and MDF-based console frame round the physical feature, which ships in a flat pack style and everything needed for assembly. Wait, hang on now. Do you get the whole shebang here? I didn't know you got that. Let's have a gawk here. There's a video. Let's look at the video. Would you like to know more? Yes, we want to know more. Play music to make it more dramatic. To be fair, it looks like it's the entire gadget, lads, isn't it? So for 300 naughty ones, that's kind of interesting. Hang on a second now. Where can we buy this? You can buy it here, pushing aggressively into the market. Where's this now? At $299, same in euro, the Airbus steering console isn't cheap, but it's not entirely out of the line either when you consider the home cockpit segment it's targeting. For comparison, standalone tillers on eBay can fetch $250 more, often with far few features. And while companies like Windwing have been pushing aggressively into the market with modular and affordable hardware, no one has really gone near the tillers. There are obvious concerns about the overall cost, especially once shipping and potential import fees are added. Whether or not that's the price is justified and likely depend on the build quality. Hang on a second. Accept that. So when you buy this, what you actually get? Product, right? The Airbus steering console, $299.95. That's right. Aluminium die-cast steering tiller, working pedal disconnect button, all-metal gimbal, 12-bit axes, realistic amber built-in backlit panel, which is that guy, aluminium housing, independent controllable floor light, aluminium trash tray, a bin, it's a bin, realistic vent grill. Well, I mean, it looks like, MDF console frame, easy to assemble, all screws and hardware included. It's compatible with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, compatible with X-Plane. Templates include to attach to Verpil, VKB, and Windwing. So hang on, it is actually the box. Well, that kind of changes it, doesn't it? Hang on now a second and hear me out. Depending on the height of the gadget, there's always been a headache when it comes to desk space, right? So you put a tiller here beside you, but now you can also put your joystick, or if you wanted the throttle on top of it, that's a little bit different. But it depends on the height, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? It's a fancy packaging for a one axis with fancy language to make it seem more than it is. Well, I mean, yeah, sure. But it comes with a fancy bin. Trash can. 300 quid? Do you know? I don't know, lads. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, I'm the geek inside of me is like, that's pretty cool. I need one of these in my life. But at the same time, I'm thinking, Jesus, it's a €300 bin, right? Anyway, moving on. Echo 19, we'll cover this, but we went flying with the P51 over the weekend. It's now released. The P51 immersive sound package has been released for the P51 Mustang. It works with the Airplane Heaven and also the Reno Air Races, including the default variant in Flight Sim 2024. The sounds on this are quite incredible. They are quite incredible. Look back the stream there from the other day. We might hear them here. Right now. You will hear them here. No, there's music. When you hit the fly past, right? It's just class, right? It's a great bit of stuff. Now, if that was a cool box, seems like a terrible April Fool's. Listen, maybe it is April Fool's. I don't think so. Anyway, this is available right now. You can go ahead and pick it up, and it's available in a number of places. I think iniBuilds have it. You can get it over on Orbex as well, and it's coming to the marketplace. It's now available, just $7.99, lads. Incredible sounds for your P51. So, yeah, it's beautiful. Very, very nice. Now, quick update here from Meridian GMT. Well, they've published more details about their hardware lineup, and it looks like our Nicky's that are getting his 3D renders. They've unveiled more details of the inaugural product line. The announcement follows the company's first public presentation at FS Weekend. And what do we know now? The devices mark the beginning of an ambitious roadmap. The initial feedback from both the industry and community has been phenomenal and better than I could have asked for. He didn't really show us much, but anyway. The 3 products are now listed in full on the website, complete with specifications, pricing, and configuration options. Well, let's go to the horse's mouth. Right, introduction. There's Nicky. Well, show us the products there now. He's a good man. Am I missing something? Oh, wait, products. Man Murphy, you big Aegis. Right, the X-Ray flight controller. This does look pretty cool, though, doesn't it? I was very excited to see this. That does look pretty cool, lads. I'm not going to lie. Tons of friggin' buttons and switches and all sorts. That does look impressive. You know. Do we like that? I'm very impressed with that. Is there a price on this divil? No. All right. Right, what about the Sierra Plus? Wasn't mad on this. I do like the way we have these modular stuff, though, right? That's going to be exciting because, I mean, you can just pop on and pop off all the individual panels, right? No price there. And then the Tango. This is mad looking. You know when you've been tangoed. Look at all the stuff on the screen. So what we had were these renders the last time. Now you have this stuff happening, look. That's deadly. I don't care. That's cool looking. I'm a little bit concerned how we're going to be able to reach those if the throttles are fully forward. But apart from that, these are class looking. They're just, I think they're deadly. Do you know? So, yeah, let's see how all this... Although, from that view there, they look pretty decent. But see the way those friggin... Those levers are only halfway forward, yeah? But what if they go fully forward? Are they going to be blocking this stuff? Because my Bravo, you can't touch the switches on the front when everything's fully forward, you know? So yeah, discover about our info. Do we have prices? No, we don't. Discover. Yeah, okay, but sure, where's the shagging prices? We've no prices yet. We'll have to wait and see what happens at FlightSimExpo, do you know? So I don't see any prices there. But anyway, more information, and this is definitely something we're going to try and get in front of at FlightSimExpo to see what we're looking at, you know? I'm worried about what you showed us. It was still 3D renders and nothing else really. He's waiting for them to be built, do you know? He did say he'll have stuff at FlightSimExpo, so we want to get hands-on at FlightSimExpo, do you know? So these renders show that Nicky is actually improving designs, whereas Honeycomb seem to take a step back with their light versions. One way of looking at it, Steiny, yeah, it's one way of looking at it. It's going to be, he's going to have stuff. They have a very large footprint. I agree, Scott. They do. We'll have a look at that in a moment. They do have a large footprint at FlightSimExpo. Now, speaking of a large footprint, Windwing. We've all seen the news and all the gadgets and the toys and the that they're about to release. Well, they've opened up orders for their PAP 3 autopilot panel, the first Boeing-style multi... what are they called? MCP multi-something panel. Mega something panel. What's an MCP again? Multi-control panel, is it? I don't know. But anyway, it looks gorgeous. Joey Bolo, good to see you. Following the success of the Airbus-style FCU, which I have, and it's brilliant. Well, here we go now with the PAP 3. This is showing off the panel of autopilot, a one-to-one replica of the Collins mode control panel found inside your 737. The device is now available in limited quantities through their global shipping, while pre-orders have opened up for that as well. You can buy this for $149.95 US. I mean, we need an excuse, and I can get one. Right, just between you and me, we need an excuse that we can use. Mode control panel, that's the one. Jay's still getting fierce trouble if I buy this. But they look brilliant. Look at the cut of it. Also, lads, I need a good excuse. Look at the state. It's only friggin' cool looking. And I will say, when you look at the Airbus style one, and they've nailed it because you have the push, pull, the twists, all that jazz is there. There's more happening on this panel. There's way more because you have 2 course gadgets, your 2 flight director switches, you have your 4 autopilot command switches, and the ever so famous the button that you pull down for the disconnect. It's class, right? Really looking forward to this. You have your speed, heading, alt, and vertical speed. Very similar to what you get in the Airbus. But, oh man, look, I mean, brilliant. It looks absolutely class. If you're a Boeing pilot, you know, you need to get one of these. You just need to get one. They're eventually going to be bringing out the other bits and bobs, as you can see here. It's all modular, so you'll end up with a full panel, right? And it's a 1-to-1 replica as well. It's class, lads. So while the product appears to offer solid features for the price, some users have also noted slow fulfillment and delivery times with previous Windwing hardware. Now, I got chatting to Windwing over at FS Weekend. Do you remember they got Susan? Her name wasn't Susan, but she was the translator. How are you, Susan? Yeah, that's right. You're looking well, right? Great bunch of lads, the Chinese. But anyway, that was a very bad assumption that the Chinese... I think the Chinese... But anyway, it's not important. We had a question in relation to... But what's the story with fulfillment? And they were saying, no, we're grand. We have our main warehouse and then we ship the stuff out. There's no word of like any other kind of retailers or just, you know, distribution hubs. It's let's see what happens. Like, demand is high for this stuff because their pricing is so cheap. And they haven't exactly upped the prices to offset demand. So I think we kind of have to live with that. If you want it at these prices, be prepared to wait a few weeks. I mean, that's kind of where it's at, lads, isn't it? Do you know? Still waiting since the beginning of February. Yeah. Like, I mean, I was relatively lucky with the FCU, but like, you know, some of the other stuff I bought, like it took months to get here. So yeah, let's see what the story is. But I can tell you, if it's anything like their FCU that they use for Airbus, this is a phenomenal piece of kit. It just is. You're going to use it a lot in your airliner flying. And then you use something like MobiFlight. Well, you can apply this to other aircraft. It doesn't have to be just for Boeing. I mean, my Airbus stuff works inside the MD-11 and other things. It's class, right? Absolutely class. But anyway, great news there. And it looks so good with the lights. Jesus. I'm just going to click on a link here now to make sure that the website actually works, right? Yeah. Janie then. It's available. Accept everything here now for the moment. We're currently showing... Jesus, Johnstown. Where's Johnstown? Let's move this off the screen in fear of showing any financial details to Murph Manor. Wait, can I log in? I'm not doing anything now. Shh. Log in there now. Panel of autopilot. I love it. Now, available for pre-ordering is the auto throttle magnetic switch. Do you really need that? They're charging you 50 quid for the switch. Do you know what I mean? I wish Windwing will get to helicopters. General Aviation. So I had that question and they were like, I'll get in trouble. I won't do accents, but they were interested. Right? Anyway, Bajani then. What if I just, you know, and pressed another button, right? We're currently showing products when available. Yes. Jesus, shipping is 60 quid though. 60 quid for shipping. That's 208 smelly ones. Let's leave it there for the moment. She will positively kill me. Moving on, friends. Sim Update 2 Beta. Well, it is coming from China, Mr. Dan. I mean, think about it. 60 quid from China, right? But anyway, Sim Update 2 Beta. Well, there's a massive changelog, and they've also recently given an even other update for some of the changes on the way. Now, this is staggering because, as I said, they gave a second update. It seems to be heavily focused when it comes to VR. A lot of good stuff done for VR. Pimax are actually involved. They were chatting to Asobo saying, listen, you need to do the following things. And they're talking about quad views and other things I don't really understand. VR Flight Sim guy will keep you covered there. But effectively what it means is you're going to be getting better performance in VR with your current hardware, and you don't need to worry about, you know, getting your own friggin' 5090 and others, right? So they're making the thing better. They're also looking at stability and the performance. Xbox seems to be getting a fair whack of stuff in on this. And then we have general bug fixes. Now, they added a footstep and walking as an avatar. I don't actually know what that means. We need the ability to jump. I'm just saying, it'll be nice. What else do we have? There's a load of other buttons, like, you know, quit to X or quit to main menu and all this sort of stuff, you know. DLSS 4 and FSR 3 implemented, correct and right. Just noises for walking. MCP with shipping is still cheaper than the Tiller. It is. I love the Pimax Crystal headset. Wish I had more time to play with it at the last expo. I have the Pimax Crystal Lite, and it's oh man, I love it. It's absolute. The clarity, lads. The clarity is unbelievable. It seems the latest build of Sim Update 2 is much more stable. Yeah, I've been reading that as well, Dougal. So there's another patch after coming out here. Let's ramble over here to flightsimulator.com. Flight Simulator. No, late. Jesus, Murphy. FlightSimulator.com. Now get in here and we'll have a look at some release notes, because this is what they're working on at the moment, right? Let's have an old gawk here now. So Sim Update 2 beta news. Read first. Update release notes March 28. So, known issues. Things are shagged. Grand. Other things. Memory logging. They've added this new memory logging thing, which will hit your performance, but the whole idea is they're trying to scan and get a full report of what's actually happening. I don't think they've done this before. I could be wrong, but I don't think they've done this before. Previous to this, we'd have to tell Microsoft and Asobo, this is what's happening. Now, they have this memory logging where it's reading everything that either happened before, during, or after to try and get a better understanding what's causing the issues. The downside to this, it will hit your performance because, well, all the architecture, it's running heavier to do additional processes to get all this information, yeah? But anyway, a couple of changes went in with the career, also multiplayer. Ooh, beginning with Sim Update 2 beta, career and challenge leagues will have separate progress. That's grand. This means that's grand. There was something to do with multiplayer, making career, challenge league, and multiplayer separate in a flighting build allows us to test. So, do you remember before with Sim Update 1 beta, it didn't really matter who was on the beta and who was on the public release. I mean, everyone could see each other in multiplayer. Be aware, if you go onto the Sim Update 2 beta, you won't see people who are flying in multiplayer who are on Sim Update 1. Just be aware of that. But anyway, it's very exciting because the release notes and the build notes for Sim Update 2 vastly greater than Sim Update 1. And I think we can all agree. Sim Update 1 has been a fantastic update for the sim. I mean, they've done a great job with Sim Update 1. Sim Update 2, it's even bigger. And it's coming this month. We're weeks away from the release. Very, very exciting. Now, speaking about very, very exciting, the first exhibitors have been confirmed for FlightSimExpo, which is happening in about 2 months, on the 25th to the 27th, I think. Or is it the 27th to the 29th? Imagine if I got my dates wrong. Jesus. Anyway, FlightSimExpo, Rhode Island, and I'm really looking forward to this one. Navigraph, Orbex, PMDG, X-Plane, iniBuilds, Field Air, Just Flight, Windwing, Thrustmaster. The big guys are all there. I mean, we're definitely going to see them there. Corsair are going to be there. That's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to this year, because last year was kind of different. And there's two ways to look at this. Last year, we were on the horizon of a brand new simulator, Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. We were, right on the horizon of the A380 launch. So I won't say they were the meat and veg of the expo, but in terms of distractions, was it a distraction? Because that was the huge news in the corner. There doesn't seem to be anything quite like that on the horizon. I mean, we're not sitting here waiting for the A350, for example, and as far as I know, there's no other major update coming to Microsoft Flight Sim outside of Sim Update 2. Or Sim Update 3, which should be released, I reckon, around now. So with that said, does the pressure now come back onto all the other developers to really bolster their efforts to give them... You didn't mention the Dragon. I forgot to mention the Dragon. What Dragon? Who Dragon? Who? Does it give him a chance to really bolster, hey, look what we've done now? Do you know what I mean? This could be huge. The dragon. What dragon? What are you talking about? The dragon. I'm lost. Clearly, I've made an idiot of myself. Murph, what's your opinion on VKB products? Visualized, they're very, very good. Colonel Fork has one, and he loves it. I forgot to mention the dragon. What dragon? What are you talking about? Can someone allow me to post a link? The dragon on Contrail. Ah, Jesus. That's stupid. That was an April Fool's, wasn't it? Hang on. That was an April Fool's. I'm almost certain. Hang on, I have it here. Introducing the Wyvern Mark 1, the latest edition from classic aircraft simulations, pushing the limits of plausibility and Microsoft Flight Sim flight model. You too can fly the Dragon, equipped with a 4-limb thrust vectoring system, 2 wings and 2 legs, and a powerful long-range anti-ice system. Fire-breathing capabilities. The Mark 1 offers short takeoff capability, just jump, and terrain-aware landing gear. You know.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, its organic flight model is tuned for agility, glide, and occasional mid-air roars that cause severe wake turbulence. Fuel efficiency varies depending on snack availability. Right? Yeah, it's a thing. It does work, doesn't it? Like, it is a thing. You know what's better than a dragon? 2 dragons. I don't know, lads. I mean, it's also huge. It's worth the download. Hang on a second. This needs like Game of Thrones. Hang on a second. Can't believe we're showing the dragon. Hang on. Where's this button? It is study level, yes. This year. What was the dragon's name? In Game of Thrones? Gary the dragon, yeah. Chase is the thing. It's a fire-breathing dragon. Chase, the landing rate wasn't great there, was it? You and 3D Studio. Dracaris. Yes, it wasn't Bob. Yeah. Puff the magic dragon. Brilliant. Yeah, well done, lads. Yeah, well done. The dragon is now available. You can add it to your cart. Is it only available short term? If you want to fly a dragon, just so you know, I probably won't have this installed when it comes to our group flights. I'm just telling you now, you know. Oh, there's your man in a dragon. Then again, now that I've said it, we probably have to do it. Right, anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I was over here. You didn't mention the dragon. Right, we got derailed by the dragon. Right. Right now, ooh, your man's a... Who? Huge disappointment, says Mr. Dan. Listen. Multiplayer isn't great. You have to be really close to see others. Chunky Flyer, see? That's why we can't have dragons. That's why we can't have dragons, lads. We're going to have to do a freaking dragon stream now, aren't we? We'll do a Game of Thrones one. Yeah. I'd say it is a lot of fun. It's like do you remember the car? Oh, speaking of cardboard, did you see the? Ah, Jesus, did you see this? I saw this and nearly brought a tear to my eye. Hang on there now, I'll show you. I was like, what? The Avro Lancaster. That's what my brain saw. Add-on, it's out now. Stop the lights. Call the media. And then I paused and I vomited in my mouth because I said Aero Lancaster. What? What? So, out now. See more. So then it went over here. It's like, oh, brilliant. They had the Lancaster Mark 1. It's a story about Bob. Wait, who's Bob? Bob always wanted to fly a Lancaster. The issue is Black Stump in the middle of Australia. There's a shortage of Lancasters. Wait, what? Funnily enough, undeterred, Bob did the next best thing. He slowly amassed a collection of cardboard boxes from the free area at Bunnings. The added bonus was the sausage with extra onions, aimed or armed with some overlarge pins, permanent markers, and the Wikipedia page on Lancasters. He's set to work. Bob the Builder, yeah. So when I saw this, I was like, I don't believe it. You can't be playing with our emotions, man. But now I can. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's bitter, but it's brilliant. You know, this is the crack we're up against, lads. This is what we're up against. But anyway, that was the other one I saw. Right, moving on quick. Anyway, FlightSimExpo. As I was saying, there's no major distraction. So I think, you know, from the folks who are going there, there's a lot. I won't say pressure. There's a lot on them now to say, hey, what are you bringing? FS Weekend was absolutely thronged with hardware. And I think FS Expo is going to be the same, considering we have Yawman, we have Moza, we have Windwing, we have Simeonic, we have Thrustmaster, we have, what do we call them? You have Honeycomb, we have Meridian. You have all these lads making hardware. Do you know what I mean? So Bluebird simulations are going to be there. You know, just give us something so we can look at it first. And there's a lot of virtual airlines going there as well. We do, of course, have the big names are there. Navigraph, you know, iniBuilds, SayIntentions are going to be there. PMDG. X-Plane, of course, have announced that they're going. Now, if we have a look at the where's this now? FlightSimExpo. Look at the floor plan. And this is now why I'm thinking, right? Because, lads, when we look at the floor plan, you have the FS Elite stage, but it says reserved for future expansion. Now, think about it just for a moment, right? Who last year had that massive area? Which was bigger than pretty much everyone else's. So I'm just saying, they're probably waiting on a confirmation of someone. Now, there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 other booths or booths available, right? So let's see what happens there. You know, it's SayIntentions have a fairly large area. Gleam are going to be there. Just Flight are going to be there. Honeycomb, relatively big. Windwing, massive. iniBuilds have a good area as well. Navigraph, they always have phenomenal lineups and phenomenal booths that are there. I didn't say boobs, I said booths. I never said boobs. Mr. Dan. Meridian have a massive area there as well. And the hope, of course, is they're going to be showing off all of their hardware. You know, I don't see a space for content creators. There isn't one planned. There isn't one planned. QA Pilot did the one last year, and a few of us got involved. But there's nothing planned yet for this year. I don't know how grand it was. I mean, it's handy to go to one location to see content creators. Of course it is. I don't know. I'm half thinking of something, but like it's pricey, lads. You know. So I'll see. We might get a bunch of folks together, but I'll be to find me at FlightSimExpo. I will be hanging around where SayIntentions are and iniBuilds. I mean, they're my go-to spots. I'll be to and from. And I want to catch up with everyone there. You know, but don't worry. Before we go, we'll have the full line out of what we're doing. You know, most content creators will be roaming anyway. Yeah, we did a thing last year. It actually worked really well. But yeah, we'll do something. We'll see what the crack is. Bats in Boston have a big booth. Yeah, Symphonic already confirmed that there won't be a creator lounge. Yeah, well, there might be, but we'll see. I don't know is the answer. You know, if there's enough of us that get together to say, yeah, we'll do something, maybe. But for the most part, it's just nice walking around, chatting to people, you know. But anyway, all the exhibitors have been announced, and the gig is between June 27th and 29th in Providence, Rhode Island. And I'm really looking forward to this. Really looking forward to it. And, well, we'll have more news coming soon, because there's going to be more, whatchamacallit. We're going to have more announcements coming very, very soon. Now, in terms of VATSIM events, one coming up on Friday night, which is kind of into Saturday, the Friday Night Ops, the F&O Down Under, and it's going to be in Sydney, Adelaide and Brisbane. So Friday Night Ops, a weekly event run by VAT USA, normally visiting places in the United States. However, this time, F&O are going to the land down under with the famous J-curve. Fly anywhere between Sydney, Adelaide and Brisbane from 2300 Zulu on the 4th to 0300 Zulu on the 5th. Ooh. This should be fun. This should be fun. So that's a VATSIM event this weekend, if you want to have an old check out. Now, when it comes to SayIntentions, I mentioned this earlier on, and we'll cover this briefly, but just to give you an idea. On Monday night, we came across an issue. Yeah, we came across an issue, and well, what do we do? You know, you pick up the phone and you say, hey, I have an issue. So in the pilot portal of SayIntentions, you have the help area or the knowledge base area. And from here, there's a number of FAQs that you can go through, you know, cost, how does it work? How do you do this? How do you do that? But then you have the help and support. How do you set things up? Number of tutorials when it comes to IF4. Then their products, their taxi tuner, which I think is brilliant. General ATC questions. And then you see, you know, developers integrations, how do you get the software working with other programs, and then you have troubleshooting, right? But you can also submit a ticket here, and that goes straight through them, or straight to them. Hey, there's an issue here. When do we figure it out, right? So the issue that I had on Monday night, where it was incorrect phraseology, there was runway changes, and overall it came across a little bit buggy, right? Now the frequencies all worked, and you know, at times it was spot on, but overall it just left something a little bit lacking. Anyway, I reached out to Brian and I said, listen, this is what happened. He said, Grant, thanks for letting me know. Let me look at it. I must have caused an issue because I know that they're working on other stuff, and you know, they're working hard to get the other stuff released. Anyway, he said he fixed it. I said, Grant, I'll go off and play with it over the weekend and just make sure that we're tickety-boo. Bearing in mind, I tested that on Sunday and it worked. It was fine. Flawless, right? It was working flawlessly on Sunday. They must have done something on Sunday night and it upset things a little bit. Anyway, I then came into this neck of the woods, which is the knowledge base. And it's quite detailed, right? There's other areas here as well. So when we go to SayIntentions, go into the pilot portal. This is when you're registered and the whole lot. And you'll see account stuff here at the start, but down the left-hand side, right? This is where you can do things like the taxi editor. And this is where they're trying to get folks to kind of help them provide all the information. So for example, if we go into Dublin, for instance, we can pull up the taxi information that's already available at Dublin. And if something was wrong, well, this is what we can do. We can actually get in here and start editing this. And we can start giving feedback on this to say, hey, see what you're doing. You know, your ATC is telling me to taxi on Alpha. But they don't do that because it's been closed for the last 4 years. Okay, we can put that in to say, you know, it's now closed. Huh? Like, you can do all of these things, which is brilliant because it's giving us the power to get the program up and running to where it wants to be at. Same with parking areas, stands. I mean, we can look at, if you look closely, even the helipad here, we can add something to that. Place a start point. All right. And then we can go in and say, you know, this needs to be put in. We can add one in here. The airport has Navigraph taxi data available. Any edits here will be corrections to the default Asoba data and will take priority over all other data sources. So you can start adding stuff in. This is brilliant. They gave us these tools to do it. Now they'll review it and check it out and see what the story is, but it absolutely works. Do you know? If I go back here now, that's the taxi tuner. Then you have the tour tuner. So this is where your AI co-pilot or your tour guide, right? So we were mentioning about bus trips earlier on. Well, did you know you can create your own tour? Go in here and click create a tour. And in here, then, you can put in, give it the name, the description, the altitude, where you depart from, where you arrive at. Or you can let AI do its own, and then you can give it instructions. For example, include some of the rock formations in the Grand Canyon, and be sure to mention that the Hoover Dam was built in 1931. The idea here is, lads, you can build up your entire AI bus trip. And you can save it, and you can share it. And then when you're flying along with, say, intentions, and you're asking your tour guide to say, hey, do you see that building over there? And then it could say, for instance, you know, that was made by an Aegis or invented by the Irish. You're going to hear that soon, right? It's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, there's about 70 people in the helicopter, yeah. AI generation's brilliant, right? Mr. Dan, you take care, my dude. Tomorrow will be a better day. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that because there's a whole load of settings and stuff going on in the back end. The next thing that they're working on is, cancel that, is the checklist tuner. Now, this is available to partners at the moment, but you can have an aircraft and you can say, right, I want to create an aircraft and I want a very specific checklist for this aircraft. This is class, lads. You can now have your checklist called out to you, and eventually it's going to be able to interact with the things. But it's giving you the option to create your own. And then the AI will say, it'll figure this one out. And it'll be laughing. Tour guide does that to me all the time and never gets it right. I have to correct it all the time. Big Al, yeah. I mean, so this is where you can fix the things. It's the same with the taxi stuff. So as a user of this program, if you see something, you have the tools to fix it yourself and everyone benefits, or just let them know through a ticket to say, hey, there's an issue here. They will look into it for you. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I thought that was brilliant and all of this is available. So play around with it. Have a look, right? Now, back to what we were supposed to be doing. This is the Heinkel, the HE-111 H variant. It's a German airliner medium bomber designed by Siegfried and Walter Gunther. And in 1934, there was some 6,500 of these built, by the way. They stopped building them, obviously, in the 40s. CASA continued to build them under a license in Spain. That was known as the CASA 2.111 or the 2.111. And well, what we have here is a medium-ranged bomber. And you would have seen these in plenty of movies. The Battle for Britain, for example, they actually used the CASA aircraft for these, right? Hey, the Limbics, good to see you, man. Hope all is, yeah, Scottish flying it. Oh, Jesus, the Scottish flying it. The first flight was on the 24th of February, 1935. It was retired in 1945 by the Luftwaffe and then in 1958 by Spain, right? And as I said, the earlier models, they were powered by a BMW engine. Then the Daimler engine came in, giving it 1,000 horsepower. That extended the range and the speed. They'd maneuver or meander at around 250, give or take. And we'll have some of the specs down here. Some of the later variants, kind of from the P onwards, that's when things started getting very kind of up to date. There was nothing really breakthrough with this aircraft. In fact, the aircraft started life much earlier as the Heinkel 70, I think, in which it had the very same shape and there was only one single engine. And they kept the wing design, right? They kept the fuselage and the tail assembly, and they just threw on two engines. It was at the time during the Treaty of Versailles, so they didn't have these options. They weren't allowed to make an air force. So they said, yes, we're making commercial airports or airplanes to bring people places. The Schnivy lads are actually building warplanes. But anyway, that's a story for another day, friends. But anyway, the 111P incorporated the Daimler-Benz engines. And then later the H went on looking at the Junkers Jumo engines. They were 1,100 horsepower, which were savage, right? They were savage. So the H variants in the summer of 1942, that's when these things kind of came kind of to power, you know. And there was many variants. You know, the H's all the way up. There was something like, there was 20 different H variants of it. Do you know? And here's one for you. The United States operated several captured of these aircraft. I didn't know that, but the Yanks did. Surviving aircraft, there are a few of them. I don't believe there's any still flying. I could be wrong on that, lads. But it had a crew of 5. It had a maximum speed of 270 miles per hour, about 240 knots. Range of about 1,200 nautical miles. Service ceiling of 21,300 feet. Its armament was quite impressive. It can carry about 4,500 pounds of bombs. This aircraft could outperform payload of some of the heavier Allied bombers. You know, they became a highly feared sight and sound over Europe. They absolutely did. Because With a modern air force, these aircraft were able to inflict all sorts of stuff. However, when it came when it came to the Luftwaffe fighting against the don't crash sim, when it came to them fighting against the RAF, which was a modern air force, well, these were kind of sitting ducks, you know. Anyway, what we're looking at here, it's a very historic airplane, right? What we're looking at here is a rendition of the aircraft from Captain Sim. We don't usually associate, these sort of aircraft with Captain Sim, but now we do. We're going to start off with the visuals, because you're probably thinking to yourself, it's not badly priced, it looks the part, and I can absolutely attest to that. This looks very, very nice indeed. The 3D modelling, the modelling of the aircraft, I think, is done very, very well. And you can see that from the detail here in the wings. The surface isn't perfectly straight, look, right? So there's rivets and all the jazz, but you can actually see the kind of dents and the strains and the overall look of the aircraft. It's used, it's been battered, and do you know what I mean? You can also see from the texture work it's done quite well also. Plenty of wear and tear, beautiful markings on the aircraft, and overall, I mean, look at the metal there. Look how it's all kind of, warped and deformed. So it's quite good. Now, to the sniper eye in you, yeah, it's odd. All the markings are in German, and then you have, English removed before flight. But that's just, what can you do? There's a number of static elements, so we can see the chock is actually just a bit of wood. We have a ladder to get up onto the main, where the cockpit is. There's cargo options on the ground. We have beautiful tie downs. They're nicely done. And of course, then, this aircraft is set up as a configured, well, it's a weapon configuration. We have a number of machine guns on it. Now, if memory serves me, there was an additional basket that dropped down it wasn't enclosed. It was an open basket for another gun position. But I think that was on some of the earlier variants. And then it has bomb bay doors. There's nice detail here in the main landing gear, looking on into the wheel bay. It's quite good. Visually, this is very good. Visually. There's no two ways about it, lads. This is a great effort. And Captain Sim have said their aim here was on a, visually accurate aircraft, right? So, visually, looks the part. What's it like on the inside? Let's find out. So, jumping inside, welcome to the mad flight deck, or the cockpit. And it's most unusual, right? Because, well, we'll look at the pilot seating position here now in a moment, but you have the front gunner position. And I gotta say, lads, could you imagine the view, or what the view would have been like in here? Absolutely incredible. I mean, you have the friggin' massive Junker engines either side, 1100 horsepower roaring. Then you have this view. Just incredible. But also at the same time, you're very exposed. I mean, very exposed. Yeah. So we have a number of click spots, including we have the chair, which I'd say now, doesn't look the most comfortable. But, you'd have a second pilot here. Maybe he'd be looking after radio navigation or something. The main pilot seat, again, when you look at the chairs, a lot of the time the parachute is beneath them. That was their padding. And that's you often see the World War II pilots, parachute is actually drooped beneath them. That was their padding. Look at the view here. I mean, it's like something out of friggin' Star Wars, isn't it? So it's flown by one pilot, correct? But you could throw in, a navigator, radio man, observer, whatever. There was another seat there, but it's a jump seat. It's not a fixed position. The aircraft was flown by one person. Now, we have interesting dials and stuff, and it's all in German. But again, you're looking, everything has a label, and I think the inside matches the outside in terms of the modelling and the texture work. I think it's done really, really well. It looks the part, doesn't it? It really does look the part. We have our engine displays over here, amongst others, right? And we have this gadget up here so we can, pull back the blinds. I think that's supposed to be the door. Could be wrong. It doesn't open. You have your blinds there. There's no access into the rear of the aircraft. They're locked and you can't get in. We do have a little fly pad thingy. There's a way to move this. If I just kind of click and hold it, that'll move this gadget over to one side so I can actually read the options here, right? Animations are a little bit kind of odd here. But this is your little EFB, but it's not really an EFB, right? So we have the tie downs. get rid of the cargo outside, the pitot cover can go, and the ladder can go. There's a bug with the antenna, it doesn't want to come on. Should be an antenna sitting there. So keep that there for the moment. Now, let's start looking at what the aircraft isn't. It doesn't have its own sounds. It's piggybacking on the default DC-3 sounds, which are quite good, but it doesn't have its own sound set. The use of the little flip chart here, it's nice. Again, it's mainly for visuals. There are a number of click spots inside the aircraft, which is nice. We can operate the blinds, and there's multiple ones of that. Same with the ones above us. We can open out the window, and don't crash sim. And we've more blinds here, you know. So we've all these kind of options. Now, in terms of flying the plane, you might be shocked to know I've never flown one of these in the real world, but we'll give it a bash and see what happens. So we have a battery switch down here. We'll have a listen to the sounds while we're doing it. There's sounds. Now, I couldn't tell you, friends, what half this stuff does. We'll move this fella back. The animations of the pedals are really nice. Animations of the yoke is really nice. And like, that's maximum deflection. Look. So maybe the SciTech or SciTech Pro Flight, maybe they were right back in the day. Who knows? But anyway, let us see what we're doing. Haven't a clue what I'm doing, but we'll wing it. So we have mag switches to both and both. We have the... What do we have? We have the... Jesus. Are they in the up or down positions? That's for the water. Then we have the oil, which I think they stay. That says, anyone in German, what does OS mean? AUS. OS means out, doesn't it? So they need to be in. Ein is in. Right. OS is out, Ein is in. Off. OS is off. OS equals out. Gotcha. Sound. Okay. Right. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring our fuel to P1+2. P1+2. Go up there now. Stop moving, Everton Murphy. Jesus. What's this now? Tanking something. Yeah, turn them on for the crack. What else do we want here? Mixture. Propeller goes forward. That's a throttle. All right. Our mags are already open. So I think now we just kind of sit back and see what happens, will we? Clears the prop. And well, let's see what happens. We'll try the right first. So there's no great startup sound, you know. But there's sounds. Left engine. Can't reach the left engine. Clear prop. Can't really do much with the window. It's not making any sounds. We have some light switches over here. And we'll go back to our little tablety fella and get rid of the chocks. Now it does look the part, lads, doesn't it? So let's have a listen to the sounds before we go, will we? So on the brakes here. And we'll give it a little rev to see what happens. Are we ready? Right, so the very DC kind of 3 sounds, right? And that fuel pump is a little bit overbearing. But anyway, we'll ramble forward and see what happens, will we? Is it now? Lucas, good to see it. Yeah, it's not necessarily the right sound package. Now we do have a lever up here. That's the bomb bays. There's no easy click on that. I think we just open them this way. And we'll see the bomb bays open. So there's decent animations throughout, do you know? Oh wait now, how do we feckin' close them? Ah, Jesus! Does anyone know how we close the There they go. Right, the bomb, they're closing. Right. So we'll try and take off here and see what happens.
Can I get a refund?
No, take off, there's no refunds. Right, let's see. Look at the view though, isn't it savage? Now, the only thing is, real world operations of this thing, you'd be absolutely blinded with glare and, you know, if it was raining, there's no wipers or anything. Mr. Anderson says, it looks like Captain Sim have been hard at work. I admire them if they went back and fixed up the airliners that sold us some flights in 2020. Well, they said they were going to do this new kind of vintage airline or vintage aircraft kind of stuff, right? It's like a flying greenhouse, yeah. Now, it handles nice so far. Ground handling is decent. Right, let's see what happens. Bit of power coming in. That sound is awesome, but it belongs to the DC-3. But you kind of get the idea, right? Easy now. The rudder dance is real. Oopsie daisy. Ah, Betsy. Positive rate. Gear coming up. Like, you really do get a sense of scale with this thing. It's a big airplane. It really is. And in terms of how it flies, it's actually quite good. It feels heavy. It feels just like a big machine. Easy now. Animation's catching up. Like, what do you think of it? It's basic, right? I mean, it's not, you know, it's not going to be anywhere on the study level. I forget that. But, like, you're not going to get that with a lot of these kind of World War II aircraft. Unless you're looking at, well, I mean, it's hard to say study level. They weren't that terribly sophisticated. But I think visually, even with the sounds that it has, it ain't too bad. It's unfortunate we don't get, like, you know, you know, a realistic sound set. And I say realistic, but, like, we're not getting any unique sounds here. You know? Yeah, Crompton, exactly right, man. It's like the Millennium Falcon. The trims are a little bit hard and they're slow to react. But flying the plane, like, you know, given a full deflection, it feels heavy. And they actually nailed the pitch as well. Usually with a lot of developers, when you fly their aircraft, they feel heavy in the roll, but the pitch is always way off. They've done this really well. It's slow. It's really slow. It's $17.99, and if you want to get a couple of more liveries, it's an extra $5. I like this livery. Look, there's going to be free ones. You know, it's a basic livery. It looks the part, right? Historically accurate? Well, I mean, you know, but it still looks okay. Right. All sounds very good, doesn't it? What's the catch? Right, I'm glad you asked. The catch. There's a couple of things. First and foremost, the speed, fairly okay. I mean, it'll do about 240 knots. But bearing in mind, I'm giving it absolute full whack here. She's barely moving. Also, the pitch trim is almost non-existent. Almost non-existent, right? There is a little bit of yaw which you can mess around with, but the trim is just not great. Nighttime. Go with that. Into time. So that's our lighting. Now we can turn on our head torch. But I don't see any other options to get lights on in the thing. Now, if I'm after doing something wrong, please tell me. But I don't, Jesus. Don't stall it, Murph. I don't see the options for additional lights. I can't see them. Now, if they're in there somewhere, they're in there somewhere, but I can't find them. Right? It's not the end of the world, alright? Not the end of the world. You just can't see at night time. However, I'm sure there's a button there for it. This is where I do have a problem. Change it to rain. And we're going to have an issue now in a moment, right? Because you can't really see it here, but I need to show you, right? Lower the gear. Give it a second. And let's just slew ourselves back on the ground here, right? Hopefully it's flashing rain here. So down there now and say nothing. Right, now. Give ourselves a bit of rain. Precip is full whack. Right, clouds. So you have rain on the windshield, which is grand, right? That's somewhat normal. What I'm after here is it rains on the inside. Now Murphy's Law, it's not doing it now. Second. It was, or at least it did, it rained on the inside. Can't see it yet. Maybe they fixed it. How did they fix it? Because when I was test flying this, we had nothing but rain on the inside, and I said, that's just most unusual. You know what I mean? Can you fold the right hand gauges back? Can you move these? Jesus, Murph. Pick buttons. There we go. Can we move these back? No. No, there's nothing here that you can turn or maneuver or do any of that stuff, unfortunately. That's actually really weird now because during testing, it's raining on the inside. And now it's not. And I didn't update this, so... Anyway, if you have an issue with rain, maybe it just needs a certain type of time of day, perhaps. Which is proper raining. Interesting. Precip is full. Okay, they seem to fix that. To improve visibility, not really. No, you can't move that panel. Okay, so the thing I was going to complain about was the rain on the inside. It's not doing it now, but it did do it. You know, are the bombs stacked vertically? I don't think they've modelled those. I could be wrong. Payload. Pilot, rear gunner, and the jump seat. There's no models for them, and I don't think there's a way that you can animate the bomb bay, regardless of what you put into it. I don't think there's a way of showing what's in there. But looking at that, yes, they would be vertical. They're vertically loaded, yes. You know, the way to solve it is don't use rain. Yeah, 100%. Well, I have to say, right, it's the fact that that isn't happening now. That's if you find rain inside the freaking cabin, it's a thing, right? It's a thing. But there you have it, lads. The Captain Sim Heinkel He 111. What do you think? Are you impressed by it, or is it like, nah? It's simulating bullet holes. I doubt it, but yeah. I mean, you could say that, you know? What's the name of the same version everyone is talking about that you can dogfight? Not sure. Think it has potential? Another small nitpick I noticed, the cowl flaps were instantly animated. You can't adjust the cowl flaps. I don't think.
There.
Or certain, well, you can't close the cowl. Oh wait, hang on. You can't close the cowl flaps on the ground anyway. Clear. That's now clearable arc. Good to see you. Thanks for the follow. I think anyone into the World War II aircraft, I think, yeah, it's quite good. I think the model is bang on. It looks the part, without a shadow of a doubt. It looks the part. And, you know, as a Captain Sim aircraft, there's sufficient... There's no parking brake, which would make sense. It's sufficiently detailed in terms of, you know, its system and the cockpit textures and all of that. I had two major issues. The lights at night time and there was rain getting into the cabin. That doesn't seem to be happening now, so I'm not terribly worried, you know. It isn't overpriced. It's under 20 bucks, lads. Now, it would be better to see kind of a World War II avatar, but again, you're in flights in 2020, you can use different avatars. I think this is an okay release. Considering the alternative is the Virtuavia or Virtuavia or you know those guys? Virtavia. The modeling here is way better. Way better. It looks stunning. And like there are really nice details to this aircraft. You know what I mean? Captain Sim seems to be returning to how they used to be, the Coronado of aircraft that aren't GA. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Not too bad for less than 2 Dublin points. There you go. I do like the weathering and general bashed up nature. Yeah, 100%. It gives the thing a bit of character. I think it's an interesting project. I think they've nailed the modeling. And how it handles, how it flies, it is good. It is good. Like you can't say it's not good. Any of the nitpicks, they're probably fixable when it comes to you know, a patch here and there. The sounds are straight out of the DC3, which is, you know, it is what it is. But overall, lads, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad. So I would say if you're into your World War II aircraft, I would say go for it. I don't think you'd be terribly upset with it, you know? You pay your money, you take your choice. Yeah, 100%. But yeah. That's my thoughts on it, lads. I think it's okay. An honest kind of, yeah, I mean, I got it, right? I didn't reach out to I bought it. Because, well, I read about it and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. So what we're going to do now, later in the day, the CRJ version 2, and we're going to be taking a very quick look at this. The enhanced version. Los Angeles International. Am I allowed to show this? I asked the question, but sure, like, I imagine I can. Let's just be sure. Yeah, let's just, if I get in trouble, we'll blame Muse, you know. Oh, did he? Grand, right, perfect. Grand. Right, we're not in trouble, so. Right, time to load the sim. Let's just double check we have everything loaded. So we're going to be looking at the CRJ version 2, the Barra Sound pack for it, and also, we're going to be checking out, where does this go now? Yeah, I think it's already in there. We're also going to be checking out LAX, right? So let's see what happens. So it's an all-new custom, highly detailed upgrade to Los Angeles. Highly detailed ground textures, markings, and labels to FlightSim 2024 standards. Introduced both the Hooper Heliport and the Venice Beach POI pack as toggleable options in the INI Manager. Various models added on updates to reflect the latest airport layout. All new custom jetway models built from scratch. Updated and retextured interiors of both terminals 1 through 8. Optimized LOD. Automated people mover. That's like the train thingamajig. Handmade ground polygons. True to life airport landside recreation. Accurately modelled and positioned dynamic airport lighting. Hand placed high definition vegetation. The list goes on and on and on. LAS was incredible, or LAX. It was incredible when they released it, right? As we're loading up 24 here. It was incredible when they released it. And myself and Gibbo did a review on it. And it was just one of those, what an airport. Right, they did incredible work with it. So I'm looking, I haven't seen this yet, so I'm looking forward to loading it in. So that's going to be the backdrop of what we're showcasing, which is the CRJ version 2 update. So we shall very quickly go into SimBrief and plan a little flight of the CRJ. So let's see, we're going to be going from KLAX. So let's have a look. New flight. Flight number, I don't know. Leave that alone. We'll go KLAX and I don't know, KSFO. Right? Aircraft is going to be that of a CRJ. I'm going to take the 700. Oh, that's a 737. You muppet. Ah, Jesus, lads. CRJ. Where are you now? CRJ 700. There you go. And we'll generate the flight and see what happens. Now, when it comes to Aerosoft's update, well, friends, they have updated the modeling. And there's something different now about this package because they have the 550, the 700, the 900, and the 1000 all included as one complete package. Which is kind of weird because I remember when I bought the 550 originally and then the 700 and then the expansion pack, it brought the total price of the CRJ and all its variants to well over €100. Now you can get the whole package for about 65. Interesting. Plus, if you've owned one of the versions or one of the earlier versions, this update will upgrade your existing to version 2 and it'll also include the other variants. So, it's a highly detailed model based on many photos of the original aircraft, covered with high-resolution PBR textures. Fluid animations of the moving parts have been updated and added. There's a new cabin model across each of the variants. Full cabin and galley lighting has been added. Emergency and exit lights, seatbelt and no smoking lights, optional pilot and co-pilot avatars, and separately opening forward and centre cargo doors of the CRJ 900 and 1000 have been added. Okay. The revised flight model is based on Microsoft Flight Sim's new aerodynamic model to provide more realistic behaviour of the CRJ in all flight conditions. I was watching Edward the pilot fly this and I was watching him do some holes in it. It nailed it. It was actually very, very good. New version of FSU IPC. The aircraft systems, the flight management system and Rockwell Collins ProLine avionics, including advisory and coupled vertical navigation. Delivered with Navigraph September 2023 AirAC data. Head-up guidance system, refuel, defuel panel, realistic simulation of the aircraft systems, has a new weather radar and also a new terrain radar. The EFB, detailed performance calculations based on actual weight and balance, transfer of weight, fuel and calculations, checklists for all flights, individual configuration settings for your maintenance and aircraft state, Navigraph airport charts, Navigraph en route charts, SimBrief has been implemented, landing distance calculator, and then the general features, 8 manuals, including a detailed step-by-step setup. It has its own immersive sound set, but the Boris one is just better. Compatible with all Microsoft Flight Sim compatible controllers, and they've added in some GSX profiles. Right, friends, let's have a look at this CRJ. So, CRJ, in you go. Jesus. Why isn't that coming up? It is added, isn't it, Murph? You have pressed the button to actually load the shagging thing in. What does the CRJ come under? CR? Let's have a look. Why can't we see the shagging thing?
Jesus.
CRJ. Ah, Jesus. There's always one, isn't there? Let's have a look. Community folder. You see, it's not in there. Stupid Aerosoft friggin' loader. Right. Fear not, friends. We'll fix this. Get with that. Get with that. Get with that. Save and exit. Go back. Let's try that again, friends. Aerosoft stores. Aerosoft? Yes.
Can I get a refund?
There's no refunds, lads. It could happen to anyone, I'm telling you. Jesus. Right, let's see what happens here. Why didn't that load in? She's installed. Library. Wait now, do I need to tell it what's... Oh, you big suffering idiot. What an idiot. I installed it into 2020 because I'm a muppet.
Hello there.
It's all right, lads. It can happen to anyone.
Look at this big Egypt.
Listen. Right, get in there now, you big Egypt. Checking simulator. Yeah, it's still running. Oh, no, it's not. Grand.
Oh, Jesus.
Horse it in there now, Betsy. You'll be fine. Sure, look at this, lads.
You haven't a clue what you're doing.
Shut up, will you? It can happen to anyone. It's grand. It's grand. Nothing to worry. I'll edit all of this out anyway, lads. Don't worry about it, right? It's extracting now. Brilliant. Anyway, let me see. There was all buttons pressed. I don't know who's in charge. If you want me to control LAX for wings, I can control for you. Oh, thank you very much. Nice. Right, now, DCS is a free sandbox sim. You get some low fidelity models, but the high fidelity models you pay for. Ooh. Speaking of DCS, some say SayIntentions are looking at...
We're going the wrong way.
It's not the plane, it's the pilot.
Some say SayIntentions are looking at DCS. Sim linking, that's all right. Brilliant. Now, look at that. In you go, you big Jesse. Go back. No, go back. Packages, community.
Dougal, have you been drinking? I have, Ted. I've been drinking like a mad Egypt.
It's okay now, lads. Calm down. Whoa, now. She's installed now, right. We can all feckin' calm down and we'll get ourselves up and running now. Brilliant. It could happen to anyone. You know, going to be here for a while. That's all. It's installed now and it's linked. Murphy the Egypt, what did he do? He installed it for flights in 2020 because, well, I've answered our own question. Egypt. Anyway, it's good to know version 2 works in 2020 as well, but we want to show it off in 2024. Yes. Now, anyway, what was I doing before I interrupted myself with myself? Oh, yeah. Right, so we have our SimBrief flight loaded, ready to go. We shall import that into the aircraft. One thing that the CRJ still does, if you have everything programmed and you're on APU power and you turn off the ground power and you forget to turn on the bleeds or the APU generator, it wipes everything. You have to start from scratch. It's hilarious when after the fact. It's hilarious when it happens after the fact. Nothing worse when it happens during the fact. It's like, mother of day. But anyway, let's see what happens. We're about to be loaded in here now to the sim and all is going to be well in the realm and we'll edit all of this out. Yep, not a bother at all. Did anyone try the new FSU IPC? I'd be terrified when they update that because that can really make a mess of things. Do you know? Anyway. Murph, do you have the Boris stuff installed? Does that come in under Boris or does it come in under... Wait now. Will it come in under Orbex? Orbex? Where will they show that now? Yes. Boris Soundset CRJ. Nice. Let's load in again, friends. Copilot error. CRJs are known for poor copilots, right? Listen. CRJ. Brilliant. Give me the 700. Get in there now, you good thing. And configure. Let's go American Eagle. Only because, I've flown on one of these. American Airlines. Ibex. Delta. Alaska. American Eagle. In there now, like me swimwear. Such a pretty plane. Yes. Right. Los Angeles International. Now, lads, here's a question. Is there 1 or 2 sceneries active for LA? Do I need to turn off one? Does the sim have its own? Is there a custom LA that I need to turn off? Do. Well, no, now we're looking at the control tower. Do. No, it looks good. There is a custom version. Let's go in and have a look. My library. Oh, Jesus. Go to the main menu. I'm in the main menu. Don't crash sim. My library. KLAX. Search. Base content. Jesus, there is. Open. Community. Now that's in there. What's in here though? So I need to disable that one. Asobo has one, yeah. I've just disabled that one. And this one is installed and enabled. Brilliant. Back. Pre-flight. I better be in my American Eagle. I'm going to go back into LA. Let's see things load up now. We're getting there, surely. We're going to be at Ramp GA. We're down there for the minute now, and let's have a look. So we'll go custom, live. Now, friends, let's see what happens. This could be great. The sim will explode. It'll be grand. Let's see what happens. Because we're checking out both the scenery and the aircraft, right? You need to load on a jetway. You don't. Some nice things with the CRJ. It has a beautiful door, and it can do the stuff. Do you know? Hopefully it loads now, you know. Let's see what happens. This is such an incredible airport. Dougal, I think, you've flown out here a few times, I think, didn't you? There was an event or something on. The CRJ explodes. That'll be grand. Be grand. Let's see what happens. Now, it's the first time loading the aircraft in the sim. It will take a few moments longer than usual. As Wicked Lumberjacks rambles in. Good to see you, man. Wait, that wasn't too bad. Right. Beautiful. Here we are now. Give it a moment. Load in everything there now, sim. Don't crash. Jesus, then don't crash. Easy now. She's thinking about it. Right. Something doesn't seem right. Something seems terribly messy. Is that going to crash? Get in there now. We sort all this out. Right. Easy now, Jemima. Turn this on for the minute. Fun pavement. Yeah, there's something not right here. Options. Cold and dark, please. Aircraft. Right. Now, what's going on with me scenery? Because that to me just looks shagged. The rest of it looks pretty good. Now, is that because the sim is still... Do I need to delete the cache, I wonder? Because I say now that's using the friggin' cache off the previous scenery. You know what I mean? See the way it's like... Wait, what? You know what I mean? It's like looking into a friggin' microchip. That's what's really under us, lads! You know, it's all microchip stuff. That's just not a good day at the office at all. Hang on, lads. It's only 16, so we need to change this to 32. Let's see if this fixes it. Let's see. That is your GPU. It's absolutely not. It's textures, would you believe, Scott? We could do a restart for the scenery. So usually, what can happen, you might think that your graphics card can't load certain colors or certain temperatures, but what it is, it's actually it's actually a superimposed map, satellite of the map, and that's why it looks just a little bit kind of weird and wonderful. So we'll fix this headache now by putting the aircraft somewhere else, and we won't need to worry about it at all. Let's go over here, shall we? Easy. And we'll go somewhere here. Right. Now, we should be in a cold and dark position, but we're currently not. So let's sort out this one. We fixed it. Yeah, we fixed it. Aircraft, cold and dark. Go. Toggle jetway. Will this work? Open the door. Why can't I toggle a jetway though? Are we too far from the jetway? Oh, we should be able to toggle a jetway. That's strange, isn't it? Okay, not to worry. Right, let us start off with the aircraft visually. So we've all learned and loved the CRJ. This is the 700 variant, and yeah, they've made a couple of nice updates to it. It was always a beautiful looking aircraft, wasn't it? Like, it was always gorgeous. The CRJs always look great. And if memory serves, wasn't the CRJ a default aircraft in FSX? Too low for that gate? Shouldn't be. But maybe we are. I almost think there was, right? So what information do we have about the scenery? Good question. Upgrade price for Flight Sim 2020 owners. Expect a $499 upgrade price. Yes, right? So the upgrade price for the scenery from iniBuilds is going to be $499. You can buy the scenery for $21.99 excluding taxes. So there is a discount if you currently had it. We'll look at the scenery now in a moment. It's the aircraft we want to have a quick gawk at and just check out some of the visuals because it does look very, very nice. They have done some updates here. You can definitely see it. It is crisp in areas. Other areas seem to be overlooked maybe. You know, some areas perhaps. Now, livery painters will fix all of this. I mean, they absolutely will. But, you know, the modelling here looks superb. There's no two ways about it. It was always a gorgeous looking airplane. So I think from the exterior, visually, it's great. And I never had any major issues with the outside of this aircraft. What they have added now, of course, is the updated cabin. So let's see will this load in properly. Yeah, I mean, look at the detail here now, lads. It's done an awful lot better. So we'll go inside properly and have a look at this. So welcome to the flight deck, and we'll move ourselves around. If I change the time of day, actually, that'll put the sun in where we want it. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock somewhere. So we shall open the door. There we go. And into the cabin we go. And yeah, like, look at the detail in here. It's done really well. I mean, the seats look fantastic. Look, great detail gone into those. It's a huge upgrade. And they are this narrow. They're a tiny plane, you know, but it's a cool looking plane. You can't do anything with the visors or any of that. It's somewhat lacking in that regard. Inside the cockpit, again, textures are all being refreshed. It just has a kind of a slap of makeup to make it look that little bit better. So let's see. We'll get the aircraft powered on. That should turn on without the battery being on and flash green to let us know it works. So I don't fly these, but I know that works. But anyway, let's not worry about it. We'll come on over here. So we are set to cold and dark. We have our checklist page. Okay. Flight plan. This is where it gets nice because we can import automatically now from SimBrief. Refresh the weather. That's all grand. View your operational flight plan. Why is it not coming in? Import. Yes. Why can't we view it? Interesting. Performance checklist. That's grand. We should be able to grab this. Set payload or copy performance. Right, can we not just drag this in? Let me see now. Flight plan. Display weather forecast TAF. Okay, so they work. Send to FMS. We probably need power in the aircraft first. Let's start with the master battery. Get the nav lights on. Logo lights on. Arm the emergency lights. And we'll clear some of those. Right. Right, yeah, we need the battery. So here's our operational flight plan. Lovely. That's all working. And we can now send the whole thing into our FMS. We can also set the payload and fuel and then send the route into the FMS. So this is all new. This is great. So we'll come on down here. We'll go ahead and get our IRSs coming up. Thank you. And we'll start putting more power into the aircraft. So we won't go with the ground power. We're going to start off now straight away with the APU. So we'll go ahead and turn this on. Booster pumps, turn them on. We'll start getting some nice sounds coming in here as well. Go ahead and start that APU unit. Strobe is on. These are the Boris sounds. And they're class. Some beautiful lighting. They're all integrated lighting on. Quick listen outside, does the right view up. Really good. Okay, that's all good, that's all good, that's all good. Bleeds can go from the APU. APU is already available, that's grand. Hydraulics. This should be on. On. Right now. Auto, on, auto, on. Okay. There's your sounds coming in from your air conditioning. Now, again, we can send that flight plan to the FMS. Come down here to our FMS. We can see initialize your position. Go ahead and clear that. Execute that. So let's go to index, status, position, initialization. FMS, go ahead and grab you, pop you there, thank you. Airport is Kilo Lima Alpha X-ray. Lovely hurdling. Next page, that's all good. Flight plan, here's a full route. Performance, again we can do this from here. Set fuel and payload, let's go into performance, and we can now copy performance into our FMS. Cruise altitude for this one, according to our flight plan, 380. 38,000. Execute. Next page. Next page. Grand. Departure and arrival. We are blasting off on the Summer 2 off runway 24 left. Did we have a transition? Stoked. Execute. Departure arrival. Arrival. It's going to be into 28 right on the Surfer 4. And vectoring from Surfer. Doesn't have it. I'll just go direct. Right. Flight plan is in. APU is running. We're on all our own power. That looks good, that looks good, that looks good, that looks good. That looks good. Back to our aircraft. We'll go to the doors. Close them up. Love the curved monitors. Yeah, that's one of the beautiful things about the CRJ, man. Check out the screens. Beautiful. You probably get a better idea of it over here a bit. So like the 3D monitors, and you can see the curve, like the class, absolutely class. Right, what else we need here? We will say anti-skid is already on. Landing gears in the down position. Lights are looking good. Engines that's okay. We'll use that for takeoff. We shall engage the yaw dampener. That looks good to me. Transponder and all that jazz would want to be set. Is there an option for pushback on this? I don't believe so. Chocks removed. So we'll just ask for like a basic push. And that's only the APU, right? And like, if you want, lads, the nighttime lighting on this aircraft, Jesus, it's gorgeous. Look. Might go a little bit, something like that. The lighting on this at nighttime is absolutely friggin' gorgeous. So if we turn off these big bloody lights, Jesus. Right. So there's your lighting, and we can go ahead and mess around with some stuff here as well. Like, the lighting is so good. Isn't that very nice? Like, isn't that very, very nice? Into the cabin then as well. Some of our seats back here. Look at the detail out the window, look. I've never seen a CRJ with TVs in them, but sure, however, we'll go with it, lads. Alright, let's have a look at our lights. Where's my overhead lights? Integrated lighting up here, Murphy. If I was an integrated light, there it is. Right, we are going to go for do I have a storm light? We're going to go for them. Come off the brakes. There's a push. We shall turn off the aircon. Engine right side. Starter switch, or ignition. Starter switch. Press and hold the starter switch. Engine starting up. And listen to the sounds, lads. Jesus. Let's get some fuel in there. Now, just so you know, that's using the Boris Audio Works upgrade for the sounds. That's a separate purchase, but like, Jesus. It's very good.
Please pay attention, as we will now display the safety features of this aircraft.
All right. Gens are already on, so let's go for engine 1. Press and hold. Starter switch engaged.
Seatbelt fastened during the entire flight in case of unexpected turbulence. Smoking, the use of e-cigarettes, and use of any tobacco products is prohibited. Please take a moment to locate the nearest exit to you. In case of an evacuation, leave all your belongings behind. Lighting across the floor will indicate cabin pressure. Oxygen masks will drop from above. If this happens, pull down on the mask, place the mask over your nose and mouth, slip the elastic strap over your head, and breathe normally. In case of a water landing, life vests are located under your seat. Secure the vest around you and pull on the red strap to inflate it. As we prepare for takeoff, please take the time to make sure your seat is upright, your tray table is secured, and your seat belt is fastened. Thank you for your attention.
We have so many good sounds. Right, so engine continuous, yes. Nose lights, taxi lights coming on. Lights here are looking good. Lights there are looking good. Strobes, leave them off for the moment. Don't need those. Aircon, bring it back on. APU, go ahead, stop. And we'll flick this one off. And we shall go probes. We should go windshield low. Wing anti-ice, leave it alone. Dome light off. And let's have a listen outside, lads. Right? Now I know we're on the apron here, but let's just go messing with the lights, just so you can see the lights.
Yeah, baby.
Don't worry, Murph, you nearly went off. It's grand. Isn't the lighting really, really good? Right, we'll try and jump off here and see what happens, right? Right, engine bleeds I need to get on, so let me see. Okay, lads, let's go for the sound. Are we ready? Power coming in. Stable. Toga. side now. Jesus. It's pretty neat, isn't it? It's pretty neat. So the CRJ, it's an absolute machine altogether, but this new update, lads, I can promise you it transforms the CRJ from what it was currently at. And the Boris Audio sound pack, I've had this before, and I can't fly the CRJ without it. Even though Aerosoft have updated their own sounds, I mean, they've got a proper WY sound second in there. The Boris stuff, it's next level. Next level. But as you can see from the aircraft, they've done a great job with the upgrade or the update. The lighting has always been super, but now it just works better. It handles so much better. And like, I was able to take off looking out this window. That'll tell you how stable it is. They've done a great job, they really have. So we're going to pause that. Good luck to you. Because, well, it's time to check out the airport. And yes, we can see it here at night time. Looks absolutely insane. And you can see the LOD loading in, and we can adjust things like that when it comes into the ini manager, right? But we'll start off at the beginning, which is usually over here. Right? So anyone who's familiar with this airport, well, you're going to start seeing some things now. Bearing in mind what I'm showing off, this is pre-release. It's not the final build, but they're working on it. Right, so you know you can go bananas here to make things look very, very clean and bright and all the jazz. Yeah. So what else? Let's see. Let's just go in and start checking out the place. As I said, LA, Los Angeles International. This airport, we checked it out back in FlightSim 2020. It was brilliant. Do you know? So this is the enhanced version. So they've rebuilt an awful lot of stuff here. To get it working. The performance, as you can see, no issue. Not a bother at all. The performance of this thing, lads, it's great so far. What is that building? Was that like the original terminal back in the day? I couldn't tell you. But the details here on the tower and the night lighting. The lighting is absolutely superb here. It was a restaurant, was it? Oh, right, okay. Now, we'll make it daytime in a moment. Don't worry, I just want to show you kind of the whole neck of the woods at nighttime, right? Shukuk. Yeah, the old tower textures wouldn't be great. Now, wait, is that iniBuilds? That doesn't seem like iniBuilds. Maybe it is. I need to double check that. Because it used to be better than that. Need to double check that, lads. I'm sure there's going to be corners cut in order to get you the best possible experience in the sim, right? But we'll double check that. It didn't seem right. I always thought their interior was a bit better than that. Loads of detail, like loads of detail. There's so much going on at this airport. It's ridiculous. Multiple levels too. Let's go out on the air side. Like there's so much. So, Terminal 6, it's all the plexiglass, or what do they call it, plexiglass? Jetways, they look absolutely class. Let's come over here to where they've actually done interior work on the terminals, yeah? Slow down now. We go in here for the gawk. The night lighting is class, look. Right. Easy now, Jemima. I mean, it is pretty, lads, isn't it? Isn't it, though? It is absolutely class. Do we like? Its full name is Plexius Glacimus. I love it. I love it. Isn't it class? Now we'll ramble to other areas. This is just like, look at the architecture of the building. Like, they've nailed it. And how smooth everything is. And like, do you know what? This is what we were saying about the advantages of Flight Sim 2024. This is all loading in. It's like modular, which means they can do an absolute ton of work of the scenery, because it's not loading the entire scenery. It's bolting bits on as they go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's just absolutely brilliant. Do you know? Right! Now, hang on, let's get creative here and showing off some textures, because it's all about the textures. Ooh, look at this now. Wait till you see the state of what we're going to do. This better work. Oh, Jesus. Ah, lads. Would you look at the suffering state of this? Look at the textures on the ground, look. Jesus. It's brilliant. Look at the reflections, look. Now we'll speed things up. Let's go in here, look. Look at the state of the things with the stuff. Isn't that only deadly? So iniBuilds the enhanced LA International, and it looks absolutely friggin' gorgeous. Look at the lighting, look at the reflections, look at the detail, lads. Isn't it frightening? It's only gorgeous. It really, really is. They've done phenomenal work here. That night lighting, it's second to none. Like, I don't know how they've done it. I can't see a shagging thing. We'll go further over. Jesus, there's more, look. Bloody hell. There's more stuff down here, look. Ah, isn't that class though, isn't it? And then you just see that lighting on the ground. Isn't that amazing? It's very, very good. I mean, like, it's one of the mother of all airports. I mean, it's so busy. It's such a popular area. And the whole facility is huge, look. Like, it's a massive, massive airport. Ramble over this way now. Even over where the restaurant is, look. There's the scenery loading in. It's class, isn't it? They've done a great job. They really have. Then you have like all the hotels. Wait now! Jesus! Isn't there supposed to be an In-N-Out burger here somewhere? We need to find that. Direct me to the In-N-Out burger. This is terribly important. Of all the times I've been to America, I've never been an In-N-Out burger. Like, I'm missing out something fierce. Look at that lighting though. Look at the state of it. Jesus. Easy now. Like, isn't that lighting superb? Right, we'll go daytime. Yes. Daytime of the night. Look at this. So there's photogrammetry all over the area, but they've added in all the hotels. There's helipads there that I can see. Now, if I was an In-N-Out burger, don't tell me that's it there, is it? Hardly. If memory serves me, they did have an In-N-Out burger modelled. Come on out, I'll get you one. Yeah, I need... Will they have an In-N-Out burger in Providence? Jez, I hope so. Is it on this side of the field? They have an FBO done. Oh, that's nice. That there... Oh, look, there they are loading in now, look. Atlantic Aviation. On the West Coast only. Ah, don't say that, Captain Game. Are you for real? Oh, look at this. It's a DC-3 there, man. Nice. Where's the In-N-Out burger? There's one very close to the airport. Or at least they're supposed to be, isn't there? Like, you've great photogrammetry around the entire facility. And like, look at the size of the facility. It's a huge airport, lads. It's massive. Approaching the end of the 2.5 somewhere. Hang on, so. Hang on. With 2.4s. Is there 2.5s? Right now. Red building, yellow sign. Red building, yellow sign. We have 5 guys at home. Right now. Oh yeah. In-N-Out burger, get in there. Fantastic. That's what I'm talking about right there, lads. Instant indigestion. That's pretty cool. No plans at the moment to go to the East Coast. 5 Guys is better. Oh, is it? So we go to 5 Guys, so alright. But anyway, lads, this is the updated, enhanced LAX coming very, very soon. And I mean very, very soon. It's from iniBuilds. They've done a ton of work here to optimize it. It's able to take advantage of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 in relation to the modular loading, which means you're going to be getting way better performance. Like, way better performance. Is the train working? They said it is. We just need to go find it. Is that the end of the line for the station? They said it's working. Let's see, can we find it? We're looking for a train. Maybe they haven't now. I don't know. I thought I read that they had. Maybe it's not working in this build. Jeez, it's huge too as well, isn't it? Murphy, LAX sign to the entrance of the airport is still up. At night time. As in the old LAX sign. As in this one. That one there, Energizer. That's the one you think. Closed for training. Closed for training. Murph, I know you got a monster PC, but for sim performance at LAX is incredible. Mr. Anderson, it is incredible. And you can edit a lot of the performance stuff when it comes to the INI manager. I mean, you can turn stuff off or on. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm well impressed with this, lads. The detail is phenomenal. And it's the performance. I mean, someone says, yeah, we're flying it into LA. Are we? Right. Turn everything off. You know? But like, look at the lighting here, look. It's absolutely insane. It's beautiful. It really is. They've done a great job. They really have. So this is coming out very, very soon, lads. And of course, the CRJ is already out. So yeah, I'm going to have to do a flight out of LA in the CRJ, maybe up to San Francisco or something like that, because I know San Francisco got an update as well. But anyway, lads, on that note, it is time to say goodbye. Thank you all so very much indeed for tuning in this evening. I really enjoyed your company. We're back to you on Friday for a group flight with thanks to Captain Sickbag. We're off on a booze cruise to bring beer to the needy people out on Courchevel. So looking forward to it. We're going to be flying in the Cessna 310, recently updated from Blackbird Simulations, formerly known as Milviz. So we got a lot of ground covered tonight. Thank you so very much indeed for tuning in. Hope you found it helpful. Anything we discussed on the stream, if anyone's having any issues, well, do be sure to ramble over to our Discord, !Discord. Let me know if you've any issues or hassles. We'll try and figure them out collectively as we do as a community. So yeah, guys, thank you very, very much indeed, and we shall see you on Friday at 1900 Zulu for the group flight. Looking forward to it. Until then, you take care.